Howdy, folks. Welcome to Mosaic Team 5, our original Starfinder game. I am Joe Treff, your GM this evening and most, and joining me are my friends Matt, Dan, Kara, Olive, and Ari. We're going to play Starfinder tonight, but before we do, a couple of quick announcements.
We're gonna play Pathfinder 2e.
What was that?
We're gonna play Pathfinder 2e.
No, apparently we'll never do that.
Starfinder 1.
Yeah, Starfinder OG. Only.
So, a couple of quick announcements before we do play Starfinder. First, we have a YouTube at Alberon RPG where we re-air all of our sessions. There's something close to like 400 and I don't know. We're getting close to 500 in terms of sessions there. So, Starfinder, D&D. We're going to be having Humblewood coming along pretty soon. We have a whole bunch of cool things coming up. We re-air the week sessions every Sunday. You can also find us on Instagram at Alberon RPG for more in-depth photos from everything that is on our table. For instance, right now we have a salad from Costco, not a sponsor, but
Costco should be.
That'd be
Kirkland, hit me up.
Yeah, man, Kirkland. And Kirkland, you could hit us up on Instagram at Alberon RPG, where you can find photos of things like encounter maps and stuff like that. Joey Kirkland. Tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we'll be playing D&D Courts of Everest. We are in the place called the Stock. It is a prison that was at one point run by the Drow and is now controlled by a entity of a different kind.
Everything's fine.
That sounds cool.
Yeah, everything's totally good. And so you can see what that looks like at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where everybody is in control of their bowels and their minds. And that is all the announcements that we have for this week. That brings us Starfinder. Mosaic Team 5. What has to be played? You converged on Hardcore Henry's compound in two separate groups. First, Shade and Spice, arriving via an armored car that pulled directly up to the front door of Hardcore Henry's foyer. Give me 1 second to turn that down. Second, after sabotaging the generator and stopping power to Henry's compound, you manually navigated to the lift to emerge quietly beyond in the foyer as the alert went out amongst the guards that the power had gone out. Echo, there was a moment where you had to decide what to do, and you decided that the prudent decision was to go off and, towards the hangar, try to find Project Cuttlefish, the entire reason the USR had dispatched your group. While Gibbs and Bubbles rushed towards the foyer, and Henry, now in the dark, remarked that it was unfortunate that your fate would be rushed, but Spice's head was a key to him elevating himself within the cartel. He then took aim at Spice, along with those working for him, and unloaded their weapons just as Gibbs breached the rear window of the foyer by headbutting the glass, badly lacerating her face, and then throwing a grenade through the opening, nearly blowing themselves up as it ricocheted off furniture nearby. After nearly blowing themselves up, Gibbs, you created a whirlwind of debris and caused some of the henchmen to retreat towards the spa while scrambling for the lift. Bubbles, you used your jetpack to fly into the midst of the fight and tossed your Dovco into Spice's cuffs, snapping them and freeing her. Spice, you were riddled with bullets and beams of focused energy that brought you to the floor, but Bubbles was able to rescue you and bring you to safety before Gibbs brought you back to life. Echo, you ran out and away from combat initially and ascertained that Project Cuttlefish was not in fact in the garage.
Nope.
Though there was elements of a more smoke and mirrors like approach to a similar thing. There was only a shuttle within, no additional space fighters or craft that may have been used by their team, but you performed the Echo Special by taking that shuttle and throwing it into the building proper. Shade, you found yourselves handcuffed in front of the foyer, though you freed yourself as you rocketed up into the second level to engage with the vest, casting magic from playing cards that featured monsters. Spice, Gibbs, and Shade were all down at different points throughout this fight. But Gibbs and Spice kept the crew alive as Henry delivered devastating plasma sword blows. Supporting from the rafters, there was a Kasatha named Sly Grin, who switched pistols rapidly between all four arms to optimize against damage resistance. They also dug into Spice and Bubbles, who stood at the center of the encounter and took the majority of the damage. Though, when Echo entered, the shuttle took out the wall and joined both levels by demolishing an interior corner, and from the debris, you managed to shift the tide of battle by dealing 69 points of damage with your disintegration pistol.
Nice.
Spice, bleeding from dozens of bullet wounds, you dragged yourself up to the second level as well, and with a well-timed doom, you forced the Vesk and their summoned massive zombie frog-like creature to flee, though they took two of your prized Laser Monster Card Arena cards with them.
Those cowards.
Shade, you were now free from the cuffs and the Vesk, rushed up to engage Hardcore Henry using mechanical skills to interfere with Henry's cybernetics, while still feeling the devastating blows rain down from upon Bubbles. You downed the Kasatha, but it was Echo ultimately, eyes gleaming through the smoke and broken glass that sprayed through the air, who melted Hardcore Henry in half with the disintegration pistol. As the chaos died down, and you found yourselves alone in the ruined foyer, Echo, you saw in the shuttle's dying computer several ships arrived from the drift beyond, and began to engage the pirate fleet that was stationed nearby. You saw the USR Scranton and the USR Hershey, a pair of 800-foot-long, 42,000-ton destroyers, just drop out of the drift. And as the very first long-range weapons of the Krusty Cutlass, the same ship that had moved to engage all of you when you had first arrived into the system, began to go towards the USR fleet, the 8,000-foot-long swarm-class cruiser, the USR Aretha Franklin, dropped out of the drift and emptied its hangars of fighters and interceptors and began to interdict torpedoes fired from the pirate fleet. Echo, as you look away from this ship, as even more ships begin to appear, and you can hear the blip and warnings coming from that shuttle, you do find that you have a limited window, at least, to loot through the mansion now that lays before you. And that is where we begin this evening. 1 second.
So, everyone else is dead now.
You look around.
Well, I think I was under the half of Hardcore Henry's body that was
under
still
his
there,
foot,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
I guess his body, yeah.
Yeah,
Like
like
transitive body.
Are you fucked up?
I mean, I think we're all pretty fucked up.
So yeah, Shade, at the moment you're up and in the top right-hand corner of where the map used to be, there is like this walkway that leads to the elevator. The elevator is now on the floor that you're on. You can see that the elevator has a secondary door that is open beyond that leads to the second floor. You can see there's a door that opens up into the room that is also exposed, and it is this larger bedroom that I described before. You can see these galaxy-like projections on top of it. At the moment, there is no movement coming from within. In the distance, you can hear the of a motorcycle that revs and then also seems to head off in the direction of the bridge. You can hear some shouting. There are alarms now going off in the larger station as a whole, likely indicating the USR arrival. And in this moment, you can also feel vibrations within the deck. And those of you who did venture below the subsections in the maintenance levels, you had passed through a level that was open to a number of different conveyor belts that were rushing and whirring, and you get the sense that those have accelerated exponentially. And this entire Zin crawler is now moving at battle pace, which is not terribly fast, but still.
Wait, so it's just going like faster?
The engines are going hard.
Yeah, so before
It's
it
into
was
overdrive,
clocking like 4.5 miles an hour. Now it's closer to 8.
Get run.
It's not quite double, but it's going
Jeez.
fast. Yeah,
Damn.
200%.
but I mean, you have to think this is a massive,
Yeah.
massive crowd. This is a city on legs, and it's just trucking along.
That's
8
funny.
miles is pretty impressive when you put it in that scale.
Yeah.
So
But
conveyor
around
belt
all
could be an ambo belt. Maybe.
Some pretty high hopes for this crawler here.
Yeah, I think
Around
it's more
you,
of a
there is
fleet.
this gleaming stainless steel structure, though badly damaged by the exploits of Echo, especially. You can see these glamorous navy blue tiles with earthen inlays. There is still elements of stainless steel on the level above, but much of that stripped away to reveal just the structural kind of iron. There is, along the left and right hand side, stone walls that are draped with vines that provide breaks in the line of sight, but also just lightly obscure some of the doors. On the left hand wall, there is a tiled hallway that leads to what you can see now. There are like breaks in the wall, but you had seen the greenhouse from outside. You can see these alien plants from within, along with some things that are more familiar maybe to some of you. You can see as well there is a sort of discreet white door that is closed off by elements of these vines. And seeing it propped slightly ajar, you can see a number of restrooms that are within. And so those are kind of off as well. On the right-hand wall, there are two doors, one of which is labeled in big, like, LED lights, even with the main power out, movie theater. And then the final door, off on the right-hand side,
It's
very
sketchy.
ominously,
Yeah.
is labeled kitchen.
Bathroom.
Oh, yeah, two different bathroom wings.
I hear that is where they cook the androids.
Okay.
You look, I forgot that the blueprints are there. All I can see is the salad, so I thought you were like visualizing the foyer as the
So
salad.
this here, this chicken clump, that's the theater.
How are we for power right now? Because I know we took down the generator downstairs.
Seems like there's
All
auxiliary
emergency
power.
lights. You can see the theater seems to be maybe run on a battery or
Okay.
something like that. The lighting that runs along there, or perhaps designed to run when the main power isn't, such as it is supposed to be, kind of low light lighting.
It's radioactive chemicals that just stay there.
Make a physical sciences check.
Is that it?
But you gotta get that flavor for the popcorn, you know, it's radioactive or
Is
not.
it like phosphorescence or
Just
something?
asbestos, just kernels of asbestos.
Pretty good for Echo. That is a 22.
So it's at first you mistake it for being like these LED lights, but it's very low light level. It's dim light and only being shed for about 5 feet. And you recognize this is just lines of glass that are inlaid almost as bright, clean green glass. And it is a radioactive substance that does lightly shed a little bit of light in the dark here.
Wow.
Yeah, Joe committed to my bit.
I mean,
It's a real thing.
I know.
There's a whole Reddit community of people just.
Oh my god, it's like
Like
something,
uranium
it's
glass,
one
yeah.
of the coolest things
Yeah.
in the world. Yeah, I love that stuff. Anyways, that is laid in along, and you can see that kind of guides along to the theater proper.
So Hardcore Henry has escaped, right?
No, he's dead.
Hardcore Henry
He's
is dead
escaped
as
this mortal coil.
Where's
He's-
the fucking body?
He got
Well,
well,
Alex
Alex
is on
is
top of
on top of
Shade.
me
Legs are
as
on
I'm
Shade.
pushing them over to get up.
And they were actually bisected mostly in half upwards, so like
Oh, so there's
left
Oh, so
side
it's
on
not the
Shade.
Oh.
half. It's
so
not
is
the
there
upper lower
still
half. It's just
is
the
there
left or right
still
half.
like brain matter to?
So like physically, yes. Rules as written disintegration pistol, no.
Okay,
You can't
so
speak with that.
there's nothing to scavenge off of his corpse.
Make a perception check.
So from
The corpse,
so from
perhaps.
here,
But cybernetics,
Gone.
not so much.
I would say that I'm probably helping Shade up as he's doing this.
Sure.
Because the last thing I did in the game was helping Shade up.
Yeah, you grab onto his arm. and
Shade-
help him.
Do
Shade,
well, they were doing it for the bounty anyway.
not so quickly, Shade. Are you okay?
Fine.
Okay.
We need to get as much information as we can and then get out of here
Yes,
as
Captain.
quickly as we can. We all need to get back to the ship, and then we will make a plan.
Which ship?
The directive.
But we need an extra ship to get to the ships, right? We're down a
How
ship.
many people would fit in the car here?
In like the terrestrial car vehicle.
Yeah.
Can it?
4 comfortably. All 5 of you could fit in, just
Echo
squeezing
can
in.
run. Back to the
Yeah.
hangar.
Can we go on the streets? I know before you said it wasn't great.
I pictured it like driving through the streets
Bubbles,
of
make a
Italy.
perception check.
Echo
But I'm-
can run stealthily.
During World War II or something.
I'm
Yeah.
imagining it's just like like two fleets of starships fighting overhead, like above a city.
Yeah, I don't think the
I just-
USR has
Oh,
had
yeah.
a chance to land yet, unless they
Well, that's
17?
what I'm saying.
Keep
It's
it
like
down.
Perception's a 34 also.
fleets of starships
So
fighting
first,
each other
with
in
the
the sky.
17, You peer out, and Bubbles, seems like the coast is pretty clear.
Okay.
You could probably drive. You don't even see like a lot of Carbon Cartel folks anymore. You look around, you don't see the Vesk and his laser monsters. You don't see any of the enforcers, any of the 4 who fled. You can hear in the distance the distant like of that motorcycle centaur, but it's largely abandoned.
Guys, everything seems at least kind of quiet. At least from here.
That's
besides
because it's the precipitation of war.
Shade, you see this as there's a stump of head and kind of just cleanly bisected, but somehow this has missed the couture jewelry that they were wearing around their chest. It is a solid, it looks at first just like gold, but these are variable pieces of precious metal, some of which are star metal that run across the chest. There is a grenade that went unused, a disintegrator grenade 2. There is a, you actually find his pistol, which is a Paragon semi-auto pistol. And this particular pistol has the Vorpal fusion.
Okay.
And then with that check, you also find a Red Star plasma sword. With that check as well, you find a tiny glass, it's like a magic wand, but it's like the size of your little finger. The tip is like solid steel. The bottom, like butt cap of it is solid steel. The entire interior is glass, and you can see there's like a shimmering powder within. It almost looks like clear glitter. It just has a slight iridescence to it.
So it's got like red, you said?
No, just clear.
Sorry.
What is it?
Oh,
Make you kind of like peer over Shade's shoulder. Make a life sciences check.
Bubs is gonna
Medicine
say
check.
to Shade, precipice. Does that mean we're like in the eye of the storm?
That one.
It
Can't
means
see.
that the USR is about to
People who are
clash
hurt.
with an army
Damn.
of pirate ships.
No.
We need to get out of this space to a safer area.
Well, that doesn't sound good. We gotta hurry then.
Find as much information as we can about cuttlefish, and then we need to get back to the shuttle to get to our ships.
It's probably all gonna be on computers.
During this time, Echo has, if they finished getting the like communications channel and the coordinates all logged, they're gonna like zip around the room looking for like computer banks and hidden doors.
Okay, make a perception check. As you look for computer banks and hidden doors.
Hey, you know,
Yeah.
some days you're rewarded and some days you get a dirty 20.
Harry 20 is still not bad.
Yeah.
That's like a 15.
I just rolled a nat
in
1,
D&D,
so.
I'd say.
Okay, so in addition to everything that's been mentioned, you get the sense that there's not like hidden doors here. You've seen below the maintenance decks and the different kinds of things that exist beneath the structure. You do think about the fact that there is a second floor, and that likely has more kind of personal spaces or things that may be of like value. You zip on up, and so we'll get back to that. Is there anything else anybody's doing in the foyer?
Yeah. So I'm looking at Spice is very close to dying, but
No, I healed you.
she's yeah, but my resolve points
Oh.
are
Well, then
abysmal.
you've just lost your resolve. That's like your will.
You're just
to live.
depressed.
Yeah, so she's laying on the ground. Okay, wait, this is actually perfect because she's like thinking back in the balance sheet. She like pulls it up in her like comm and she looks at the wanted poster for Hardcore Kenry and it says Henry. What did I say? Kenry?
I mean, he is
Whatever.
hardcore. He is Henry
Kent. Yes. So Kenry. It's 230,000 credits alive.
Yeah.
And so she looks at Henry's dead body, goes kind of limp, but he also has cybernetics. 85% cybernetics. Is there anything I can grab from his fucking body?
You look
All the
down,
stuff that I just got and,
and,
I'll
like-
throw
Well,
it around.
No,
the
I'm
body
talking
was
about,
melted in half, and the way that Echo's pistol works mechanically, it disintegrates the body. So there's no lootable things. What's there is mush, and it's more mush for flavor.
Okay,
Yeah.
so she gets even more depressed.
Which one? I'll throw you.
I don't want your fucking trash. Give me your glass wand.
It's drugs.
Oh, fuck yeah. Give me the glass wand.
What actually is this?
It's
Make
drugs.
a medicine check.
Yeah, it's not give a
drugs,
machine
I've got
gun to it.
But Gibbs comes up behind you and goes, "It's drugs."
Looks like drugs to me.
I'm sad.
Best
You
time for
owe
drugs.
me 230,000 credits, Echo.
Technically, we only owe you a 6 of that.
Beep, you can have any credits I make.
Good point.
8.
It may just be a kid's toy.
Give me that.
I'm gonna toss it
Okay.
over to Spice because
I'm gonna try to rip
we
it
don't
like
have
a
time for
Tetris
this.
stick.
It's like give
Oh,
the- God, right away? Oh no! I thought you were gonna packet it or something.
No!
babe, what do you know?
I'm sick.
So you immediately make a fortitude saving throw.
Okay.
Watch this be like.
This is the thing that kills Spice.
I mean,
Again, Joe, how's that addiction tracker looking?
well, there's a new thing added
That
to
was-
it now.
Side effect tracker.
That's a 10, folks.
So
Unless it's mine. Oh wait, no, that's only will saves. Never mind.
you drop this in. You crack the little metal bit, and the powder just disappears into you. Almost immediately, you feel like this aura begin to close in around your vision, and then it separates. And around you, you look. And looking over at Shade, who just handed it to you, you see a
I
little
didn't hand
light.
it. I tossed it.
Tossed it. You see a little light that is just drifting and floating and dancing above their head. You see one drifting and floating and dancing above all of your friends' heads.
drugs.
It's as if dancing lights has been cast. And suddenly you are aware of the fact that for the next couple of hours, you probably have some new abilities that you can access here.
Yeah. Okay.
You could probably make other people aware of these dancing lights, in effect, casting dancing lights. You could likely, one time in the next couple of hours,
Yeah.
cast the spell Deep Slumber. And you may be able to, in the next 2 hours,
Yeah.
also cast a spell that you've seen Gibbs use called Wisp Ally. These would be cast as.
Damn.
Yeah, they're.
This is not a spell crystal, it is a spell shard.
Yes.
In addition, you have a +2
No, it's
morale
just
bonus to your will
spell
saves
crystal.
against magical effects. You are now suffering from a -2 penalty to perception checks.
Okay. Wait, was it +2 to morale? Which was what?
It's a sorry. It's just a +2 bonus to will saves.
At will saves.
Could you also make a will saving throw?
Is it mind affecting?
It is certainly mind affecting. Yes.
Oh no! Maybe it'll make you.
So it's 20. Fuck. Wait. 31.
31. You are fine.
Nice.
You don't feel that you need to do this again, but you would certainly like to. It feels nice. Okay, let me change the music here. It's different than it was.
And then it was a -2 to perception check.
Okay.
No, minus.
-2 to perception, yeah.
That's
For the next 2 hours.
Okay.
And that single dose of fairy tale is gone.
Whoops.
that
sorry.
sounds so fun.
But at the moment, you are just seeing everything almost as little. So, have you ever seen the show Shin-Chan?
Oh yeah.
Everything kind of looks like that. So, it's like this very sort of like cartoony sort of vibe.
Like Lisa Frank?
You are. No. Although.
Okay.
Yeah, we can transition it in that
Oh my god,
direction
it
for
is
sure.
a drug.
In my brain, it is a little bit more like how Gibbs imagines things. So, like little cartoony animals,
Okay.
and everything's kind of moving with little scratchy motions. When Shade looks at you, they just look like
Oh,
this
right.
ridiculous
Yes,
robot
yes.
person. It's funny, but you get the sense that you could inflict these other effects on people as well.
This is expensive.
I know it's
fuck.
really expensive.
Holy fuck.
Regrets. Well,
Anyways.
I'm rolling with it. I'm sorry, guys.
Now you're high
What a
as
waste.
fuck.
Remember when we found like 2 big containers full of drugs that we could have easily
right.
sold ourselves?
Shade is carrying everything else that was on the looting by himself until we get back to the ship, and then it'll go into the armory,
Still sells.
so that none of this other shit gets wasted.
Echo, as you zip around, you do find the body of Slygrin,
Nice.
this Kasatha, and they do have on their body an elite semi-auto pistol. They have a bottle of, at first, you mistake it for some kind of like an animal part, but it's like a dried out gourd that has like a little stopper on it. It's flame melon juice. And you haven't really heard of this, but it has some more potent qualities than just regular melon juice. There is on the body as well a Hailstorm Class 0 pistol. There is a lenticular lens pistol.
Lenticular lens?
0 pistol. Lenticular
I don't even know what it's called. Lenticular.
lens?
The
Or
best kind of particular.
Lenticular lens
A lot of
pistol.
particulars.
Okay.
And that is everything that they have on their person.
Nice.
that's some stuff.
It's a lot of guns.
What did you roll for
Well, we
your
had
perception
forearms.
check?
34.
Yeah, okay. There you go.
You want me to roll with my new -2?
And this is just for the foyer, so there's...
Yeah, I want to go to the sketchy ass kitchen bathrooms.
During this time, I imagine Bubs is trying to like rally people together.
Sure.
Echo's up on the second floor.
Yeah. He trusts Echo will probably show up in like the last second and just be like, "Oh, well, there's Echo." Get Spice. What are you doing?
You see her going,
Bubs.
like kind of like skipping
care of
over
Spice.
to the bathrooms. Actually, no, to the weird ass ugly kitchen.
I
She
will,
like pushes away the vines, but
I
then
will
she's
take
like,
Spice to the
making
kitchen
hair out of them.
with the intent to splash some like water on her face or like give her some like cool air from the fridge or something.
Cool air from the pitch.
I love that. I've never
yeah.
heard that as like a anything.
sober
I'm gonna
ride.
bang the fridge door at you.
Did
So
grow
good.
up in an airtight lab and a space station. So would Bubs have experienced a breeze or a need for air
No,
conditioning?
it makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense. So you
love-
go
Like
over
on a
to
hot
the
day, you
kitchen.
want the freezer to hit you a little bit.
The kitchen, as you go over to it, is a two-person like style kitchen. You can see it has almost 2 stations set up. There's a stainless steel industrial standard equipment. There's gas ranges. There's double stoves. You can see there are 4 large standing refrigerators. There's 2 like chest-style freezers, and there is an entire wall. The entire like kind of curved back wall of the structure is a 75 bottle capacity wine wall. It's temperature sealed using this kind of curved bit of glass. It's very, very nice. But you kind of pop that open or pop any of these freezers or fridges open,
Yeah.
sort of fan Spice, no problem.
Yeah, I'll give her some water.
Spice starts putting wine bottles into her sleeves.
Okay, yeah, you just start sliding wine bottles in. Add 2 wine bottles to your inventory.
Babe, do you really think?
I want to find the ones with the nicest labels that you would
Make a
recognize.
culture check.
Oh, nice. As long as it's not perception check, we're good. Okay. Well,
It's always the fanciest labels that are
Culture.
usually the
Fucking
lesser
hate.
quality wines. You
So
want
that's
the very subtle
26.
label.
26.
Yep.
So you go right past the, very classic, kind of more common labels. You see Bear Paw, which is like a Yosoki vineyard. You see like some other things that are there. But you find a bottle of Star Ruby. And this is something that is like not quite to the stature that Cristal is, but it is like a fancy wine that is definitely, you would see influencers like Cynthia Sweets who might have that sort of beverage. It has a beautiful label and bottle. It's an okay wine.
Okay.
But you grab a bottle of that and just slide it into your sleeve, no problem. Echo, you go up to the second floor. The second floor, off and to the left, you can see the bedroom. The bedroom, make a perception check if you're just going to sort of use your time to loot through up here.
That's going to be an 18.
At 18, you see this huge bed, 16 feet wide. You can see there is a few screens that are set to illuminate soothing colors and take away from the sort of oppressive darkness that is outside. You also see on the wall, sort of set up to look almost like tiles, there are 10 shurikens that have been sort of made to look like a backsplash behind this sort of, you can tell that this is almost like a weeble wobble martial arts like punching kind of thing. And it has this decorative, very fake looking armor on it, but behind that there are what look like very real shurikens. That is kind of what you would find in the bedroom. It's relatively empty. Next to the bedroom, just beyond, there is, you can see no doors. There is a maintenance room. You can see there's like engineering kits. You can see a number of different arms and other cybernetic components that have been kind of stored away here. With that check, the only thing that you see immediately like out on tables is a toolkit that seems to be a weaponsmithing kit that is kind of laid out and neatly sort of polished. Directly in front of you, there is a trophy room. You see dozens of they're labeled GLL Rookie of the Year. You see 1 year, 3 of those trophies. You can see some prospect reports. You see a Mars Maverick Rookie of the Year trophy. It is a minor league lockout team. You can see a second place Soul Circuit Galactic Championship belt. There's a fake katana that has been mounted on beautiful black
He's a
wood lacquered
nerd.
plaque. There's all kinds of like little.
Specific type of nerd.
He is a very specific type of nerd. And you can see,
NASCAR
he's. I would say it's a different. It's a sour flavor than that. But you
More sour than NASCAR?
a number of different sort of trophies set up in there. And that is what you would see. Yeah.
Do you take any of it?
Echo would probably take the valuable thing to them, which at this point is shurikens. Somebody else wants something, but I don't know what they want.
So you can add 10 flash shurikens to your inventory.
Can I have one of these stupid ass trophies? You look
Does
at the
this seem like
lockout
the
trophy and you go,
space that
Spice would like
Henry
that.
himself would have stayed. I want to try to find
Okay.
where
I'll make you a
the like
I don't want one of you. Actually, yes.
information that
Yes.
his
There
carbon
you go.
cartel area, like where he conducted business.
Make a sense motive check.
Within the compound.
And I would
'Cause
say
I'm
take
thinking
a-
like maybe the villa. If that's, but this might also, because now I don't know this, but it seems like this is actually his house. What am I rolling for?
This is just a sense motive.
Flat, just luck check. Just.
I would say it's the seat, but I feel like mine was much more concise when I said this.
This is a might check.
This is definitely an intellect check.
Fucking, where is it? I can't find it.
The
Since
list is
voting, it should be-
There it
alphabetical.
is. Oh, okay.
You're rolling for resources and settlers a
Sense
katana
motive.
sponsor.
It's fucking sense motive. It's a 6.
It's a 6.
It's a
Hard to
6.
tell.
Oh, that's
This is
embarrassing.
probably
It's fucking
this, as just nondescript as it is, would be a perfect place for like high level meetings for the carbon cartel. So this might be it. You know, they may have very mindfully not put
Computers
it
or
in there.
anything in here.
There's very few. There's also no power, and so
Yeah.
you know, hard to tell in that way. But looking around, you do see like a series of server banks, and should you connect to them, it is very much a sort of stylized case that is around something said to run the automation of the house, the movie theater, things like that, which is a pretty large system in and of itself, but not anything. You're not finding like a bat
the
cave.
hidden data.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes,
Could I go to the greenhouse?
you absolutely.
I
can.
believe it the seat of luxury to be someplace so depressing and have a greenhouse.
And in a lot of ways, it kind of is. Going off into the greenhouse, the thing, so about 40 feet by 40 feet of it is greenhouse. You can see there are peppers, there are tomatoes, there is a human plant that is called marijuana, but you see there is a 15-foot long Fig Slug Oasis Ultra Plus 20-person hot tub that abuts this, which is really more the feature within the room itself. It seems to be what is providing much of the ambient sort of moisture to the space. You can see it has built-in speakers. There is a water feature on one end that you can see right now. Because it is on, it is currently activating a cloud of mist, and paused, there is a movie that has been projected into the mist itself.
That's so fucking cool.
You can see...
Like creepy shit.
Make a life sciences check.
Sure.
I think while this is happening, I would message to Echo,
18.
like, going to check for cuttlefish info. And I want to go, like, outside to kind of scan what's going on outside of the foyer area.
Okay. Make a perception
The-
check. Gibbs with an 18. You see what is being grown there is habaneros, bell peppers. You see these things that you recognize as scorpion peppers. All kinds of different peppers and tomatoes primarily, although there is some herbs as well. Basil, you see garlic, oregano.
Are these
There's-
all the ingredients for salsa?
And marijuana.
Yeah, you get the sense that they are essentially growing their own salsa.
Or tomato sauce?
Something that is spicy. Salsa is closer to what it is.
Salsa?
Yeah, it seems like they, in this place that really doesn't grow anything, have their very own idea as to what they want, and they have cultivated a space to do that. There's an element to this that is, to you, this really is luxury. This is like
Yeah.
actual grown food.
And is it growing into dirt or growing into pots?
It's growing into hydroponic, like
Anything on wheels?
nothing. Oh, there's hand carts. Yeah,
Great. Can I load up?
you certainly can.
Cool. And I
You start
start.
disassembling the hydroponic garden and adding like full beds onto the
Can
spread.
I want like 5 minutes worth of plants, and that's it.
Okay, sure.
On a hand cart with room for me to ride.
With that check, you are able to obtain
Yes.
some habaneros, some bell peppers, some heirloom tomatoes, a little bit of basil, and some borage.
What's borage?
It's edible flowers.
Okay.
It's
And
actually really great because by growing it near vegetables, you improve the taste of the vegetables themselves, which is really a cool property.
cool. And I start down the road.
Is Gibbs creating a chariot to utilize with a certain steed again?
Yes. It's a character trait.
I got 32.
Okay.
I'm trying to go like out
I'm
of
down
the
the street.
foyer to the back to see in the compound and look for an area that would more likely have the cuttlefish or information on the cuttlefish so that we don't leave empty-handed.
So you can see this lockout garage, and that would be the most likely place, but Echo has already cleared it, and that doesn't seem to be quite right. I would say you do also see there is the villas, although those empty doors, empty windows, you're seeing with a 32, people have fled. Like this, it's largely empty across not just the compound. Looking across the hard light bridge, which has been left up, you can see there is not a lot of traffic on the streets. You don't see those blockades of carbon cartel soldiers. You do see that there is a watchtower, a 3-story watchtower that overlooks the bridge proper. And you, unlike anywhere else in this kind of place, you are getting a electronic signal from there. It has its own internal power. And so that seems to be maybe something that has a little bit more security sort of presence to it.
I would message to Echo checking out the watchtower because that was the security one, right?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Here's the map. Sorry.
Have everyone meet in the foyer. We'll take the car back. You meet us at the hangars.
Acknowledged.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna go check out to see if there's anything within the guard tower.
Is anybody else going to the guard tower?
value.
Gibbs is on her way to Bloodwalk
Okay.
on the hand cart.
Okay. So you're taking actual growing stuff to the blood walk. No
Right.
problem.
I think you get where I'm going with this.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
I do. You're bringing the Isoki food things so they don't have to eat. They're
Garbage.
dead.
Yeah. I don't know how
Okay.
fast I'm going. But
No, it's not super fast, but
Alright.
you're going there. So if nobody else is going over to the watchtower, Shade, you make your way over there. Each floor here is a 25 by 25 foot floor. You can see it's really set up to overlook this mechanical chasm that serves as a cooling shaft hundreds of feet down. But the front door has been left open, and it's a good thing. You look at this. This is a Vescarium blue security door. Shade, even you would probably have some trouble hacking this. You do see that there is left pressed into the actual key slot itself a small silvery key fob that has an initial NW engraved into it. So somebody unlocked and left the door unlocked in a hurry. On the bottom level, as you walk in, you can see there is a wall of model ships. You can see they are all GPF ships, actually, that are painted to be accurate to how they might look in space. There are 3 or 4 of them that are larger, and then a number of smaller craft as well. You can see there are 6 lockers that are up against the wall, a pair of steel benches, and a pair of bathrooms that include sand showers. You can see there is one of the lockers kind of hanging open. Not everything has been pulled out of there. And then there is a set of stairs to a second floor as well.
Any like small, like if I'm doing a ping for computers in any of the lockers, are there like any comms or anything left behind or anything? And I guess looking in the ones that are unlocked without having to unlock them. I guess unlocking lockers is probably pretty reasonable to do too.
It's not super hard. These are not, most things have been left open. And so amongst all the lockers you do find, there is a fusion that has been left behind on the floor of one of them. It is a bleeding fusion, level 5. You also find under one of the lockers a shot grenade, level 2. That is all that you really find. A lot of things pulled out of here. When you ping for computers on the second floor, there is a cluster of sort of electronics that seem to have housed a computer at one point. When you get to the second floor, there is an even stronger Vesk door that has also been left open. And on the other side, there is elements of blood and oil. You can see there is complex-looking Vesk machinery. There is a number of different computer systems here that seem to be peripherals to a larger processor that is missing. And you can see a number of different things that have hooked up to this. And I would say it doesn't take... Make a sense motive check. Make an engineering check. Make an engineering check.
Oh, thank you. That's that would have been too many sense
You have to
motive
sense
checks
the
for one
computer's
night.
feelings.
You do smell antiseptic, but you smell rust. You smell...
Echo kind of like runs up at this point and says, "Hello, I am here."
It seems as if the hard drive has been removed. It was a 30.
A 30. With a 30, you have seen the way that all these kind of tubes and different harnesses sort of look. This seems like it would connect to a humanoid, a android perhaps, or something of that nature. But whoever it was removed, and in a way that probably did some damage based on the blood that's on the ground. You do not see... I would say with that check, it might be somebody of a similar stature to one Hultex, who is waiting for you back in your head. But whoever it was is gone. You can see, though, the peripherals would indicate that whatever computer was in here likely would be able to monitor communications in the surrounding area, including things like whisper comms in real time. Would also be able to do things such as monitor cameras, monitor communication and data trends, things of that nature. You get the sense that the other missing piece of this is a probably electronic warfare suite from a warship of some kind. Pretty large, but also missing.
Wait, warship suite?
Warfare suite.
Like,
And then, as you go through, you do find on the bench that is kind of near all these different model ships, at first it looks kind of like a pocket watch, but when you turn it over, there's no clock face. It is just a glass face that is full of salt. And this is something called a phase detector.
okay.
There's a third floor as well.
Oh shit! Third floor. Let's go.
You can feel a little bit of wind coming from up there, and as you go up, there is openings to the air. There are windows that are only 2.5 feet tall. They're on the length of the wall, but they're sort of like it's almost like a long, like narrow slit to peer through. The majority of the space here is taken up by a concealed anti-aircraft turret.
Makes sense.
This is a Vesk heavy laser cannon that has been designed to be an anti-ship weapon, and so if people had chosen to try to blast through with ships, this would have been something that would have done devastating amounts of damage. This is something which is designed to telescope out of this tower and serve as an anti-aircraft emplacement should the need arise. You can also see little mounts along the wall that indicate that somebody, or perhaps several somebodies, had been recently using this as a mount for sniper rifles, and no longer are present. But that is what you see up here.
Is the artillery weapon still functional?
It certainly this is pristine condition, and this is not artillery. This is a heavy ship
Heavy
weapon.
ship weapon.
Yeah.
Too large to take, but I would like to disable it
Okay.
so that it can't be used.
Make an engineering check. Absolutely.
That's smart.
Yeah.
Echo, are you doing anything else while Shade does this?
It's at 36. Sorry, 37.
Tara, I forgot what you wanted Echo to do.
Well, there's not actually much. We were looking for cuttlefish stuff, but
So
there's
just go home.
there's no computers now. So yeah, go home and I'll get the kids and we'll take the van.
See you for dinner.
We'll take the van back. Go check on the cars at the garage. And then we'll meet back at home, and we'll all take our separate cars home.
Go Spice take Bubbles for a walk.
Yes.
Well, actually,
Take
in
the
this
garbage
situation,
out.
it seems like Bubs is taking Spice for a walk because
Yeah.
she's in cartoon land.
She does that thing when you're on Molly that she's just like touching everything,
I like to imagine
giving you a soft.
you look at Gibbs, and Gibbs is like hyper
rubbing
realistic, and everyone else
Gibbs'
is
head.
cartoon, and it's like
Right.
the flip flop, where it's like all of a sudden Gibbs is just a rat. Like, you know in SpongeBob when they go above
Yeah.
water?
Oh,
It's
yeah.
Gibbs is actually just a rat, and you're like looking at her for the first time, and it's like, what? Why is that rat on a cart?
Spice like
Gibbs is
says
gone,
nothing.
though.
Oh, yeah.
Gibbs is-
I'm down the
Gibbs is
street.
blood walk.
Dad said to go home.
Okay.
Run home.
And then I'm gonna go and gather up these knuckleheads.
No problem.
Did
With
we
your
properly
engineering check,
loot
by
the
the way,
kitchen?
no
Yeah, we did
problem. You were able to disable this in 3 different ways. First, you disable the connections to the targeting computer. Then you disable the actual ammunition feed to the gun itself. And then finally, you disable the power so that even when the generator is brought back online, a new
They gotta
cord will
plug
need to
it
be
in or
spliced in.
something. Yeah.
Not even plugged in, like spliced in. So it's a pretty successful job.
Nice.
Disabling
Cool.
this.
But still usable if functionally if you
Yeah.
get stuff back. Okay,
Absolutely.
cool. Let's get the fuck out of there.
No problem. You can get the fuck out of
Gonna
there.
go back down to the foyer and check on the vehicle to see if we can take that back to the hangar once we
Is
gather.
anybody else doing anything?
I've got a question. What happens with our attendance lasers?
We're
Spice
going-
comes up.
So the plan is we go in the car that's at the place right now to drive back to the hangar to get to the tendon slicers to try and take those
But there's
back.
only 3 of them, right, that's working?
Echo is going to rendezvous with Godfrey to see about the others, and I can, if one of them is still somewhat functional, I can use my abilities to
Right.
get it to fly,
Right.
at least to get us back.
And
Gotcha.
we only need 4 because you can fit into one person.
But not if we're taking fuel tech. We'll need 5.
Fuel Tex
Yes.
can fucking
Fuel Tex
deal
is-
with his
He
own
said he
shit.
would get there on his own.
Oh, okay. I missed that.
Echo had told him we only have we only
Right.
have enough room for ourselves.
Okay. Cool. Then I'm good. I'll ride with somebody. I have no problem with that.
Shade's gonna go back to the foyer and like try to contact everyone to.
Gibbs just
Yeah,
pings you my location.
I imagine at this point, Bubs has brought Spice back to the foyer.
Okay.
Are
But that's
comms functional now? That was another thing I actually wanted to ask. Like, given the USR presence now, is it sort of like they've cast a net over the communications around here? Most likely.
They've cast a tier 4 Verizon.
Yeah.
So at the
We're on the
moment,
T-Mobile network.
what are you doing to try to figure that out?
There's not really anything I can do because there's no like power within the area that we are.
Does your message go through? Does the message
I mean,
just go through?
that's the thing. I don't want to send the messages if they are
Wait, aren't they all?
getting picked up.
Well, they're getting. You just were in the watchtower, and there's no one in the watchtower.
But it was
Right,
USR.
but the
might have-
USR has massive warships flying just overhead.
Yeah, but they're occupied right now. They don't
like,
give
in
a shit
an
about us
ambush-
small fries.
No, but in an ambush, they're gonna start with like throwing a net over the whole thing to surprise everyone that's there. They're,
And you think we're gonna get caught in the net? That
I mean, pretty much. That's
You're realizing that over the
idea.
last couple of weeks, too, credits have
been-
stopped working.
Yeah.
Different things have already been kind of failing
the-
around this crawler.
That's what Shade's trying to get at.
Perhaps
right
it hasn't been artificial or coincidence.
now. Like this has been a long time coming.
yeah, but what does that have to do with us? No.
Because we're still on
We'll
the
be
ship
caught.
that's about to be in the middle of an all-out war.
It's like a raid, and we're.
I
in the middle
don't
of a
want to
raid.
die here
I get
like a fucking
all his
peon.
point is that what's the difference a text message gonna make?
Right.
Well, I
Because
mean, we don't
before
want
it was
to.
about our cover.
Yeah. So why do we give a fuck
Yeah.
if the USR
And they're-
sees our text of
And they're
are
the
you
ones
getting
who
off the
sent us
island?
here in the first place.
Yeah.
So doesn't it not? matter if they see a taste
I'm a little-
of shade?
Yeah.
I don't get it.
It's the issue right now is that was not the question. I was gonna send that message, but I also was wondering about that element because that was the precipitation of everything happening. So Shade would send the message because it's an innocuous message, but wants to know, like, is that what has happened now? Because
Yeah.
it feels like
Two separate things.
the bear trip
So
has
what
come.
message did you send?
Just head back to, like, meet back in the foyer.
Gotcha. Okay.
Be there in
So-
20 minutes.
Everybody gets that. You get that back from Gibbs. You make a computers check. You take out your communicator and you begin to look for signs of tampering, of network management in different ways.
37.
37. With a 30,
33.
and do you get a bonus for like knowledge about starships and things like that?
Yes.
Okay.
It's the DC, I think, is down by 5 to
So-
recognize, like, make, model. And
The USR Hershey is a destroyer that, in and of itself, is a formidable weapon. It is paired with the Scranton because, unlike the Scranton, it does not carry nuclear weapons. It carries a very complex electronic warfare suite of its own. And so, almost certainly, it is monitoring communications, it is blanking things out and kind of screening them out. You would get the sense that they have done that. And I would say, with that, is you look out and into the infosphere at there's a couple of like videos and things coming in from people that are like fleeing and heading towards the drift, but at the moment there is give me 1 second here, the USR Scranton, the USR Hershey, the two destroyers. There is also the USR Aretha Franklin, a cruiser that is a carrier that has a number of other ships that are coming off of it. And I would say you get the sense that it's large. It would be very hard to escape unnoticed at this point. You don't know a ton about warfare necessarily, Shaden. So what's happening? You're seeing a large number of ships, and that's most of what you're seeing.
Ooh, let's just scoot out while they're occupied. How about that?
That's why we need to go now, and we need to stay low.
All right, let's go.
They've already clamped down on this place.
That makes sense. Here, let's all get in the ship.
Broom.
So you all get ready. You all gather around the car. You look. There is no Gibbs.
Well, I sent a text.
Oh, Gibbs sent a
Yeah,
text.
I
Okay,
sent a
here.
text. People know.
And
And no
Well,
echo.
Echo's
yeah,
But why are we doing it the four-way? We should just meet at the
right.
Hueltex hangar place.
Yeah, that's
that's
right.
on the
but
way.
Yeah.
we're going there right now.
So Echo, as you run,
But you're not.
you do
We're at the
see
tail.
Gibbs.
Anyway I go,
You can see Gibbs with a hand cart full of
Yeah.
hydroponic
it's on the
equipment,
way.
and they are shuffling their way. There's a couple plants on it as well. It's like a Home Depot like push cart, and they're making their way towards the blood walk.
I think once Echo happens upon Gibbs, they will just kind of look down, look at Gibbs with all the vegetables.
Can you help me make a delivery real fast? I'll tip you. And I've got a little hand note that I've like put in the flowers. Like you
I'm
know, like
offended.
like a one
I'm not
delivery.
even an android. Oh god.
I just took a little psychic damage from that. Oh boy.
I'm earnest.
That's what makes it so hard. Is you can see in Gibbs's eyes just the shining hope that you will help with this delivery, not recognizing the fact that
Oh,
there's so many
27
levels.
cents motive.
So many
Earnestly,
levels.
just really trying to get this to the place I need it to go, and realizes you are the fastest speed demon I know.
Does it seem like pushing the cart will slow me down significantly, or will it just speed me?
You could speed it. Having Gibbs follow you will slow you down more than
No,
pushing
like
the cart.
putting Gibbs on the cart and like push like a wheelbarrow.
Not significantly. I mean, it's going to be like a 5-minute detour.
That's like
How quick
That's
do
gonna
nanocite bombs?
Escaping
It's
an
gonna be at, like,
already late
waste
escape.
It's like we're on a pirate ship that's seeking for wood.
It's a decision.
And you're
That's like
oh, let's feed the
20%
rat.
of my
Like, wait,
speed.
I left something in the
it's a decision.
fridge.
But
So
you know, it's
slow.
gonna take me 20 minutes to do it at the rate I'm going.
Gibbs, is this truly the time?
Maybe.
There is a classic historical film called The Titanic. Bubs might have told you about it. I researched it and also found out it's about a famous crashed ship.
Huh.
Do you know who survived, Gibbs?
Women and children.
And also, Gibbs, anyone who was not looking for extra things.
Yeah, but you know, the musicians and the artists stayed to
And
make
they
everything
died.
better.
And they died.
Does this cart have a go? Can I put a brick on this cart's like go
No,
button?
this is a mechanical cart. I mean, you can push it really hard down the longest stretch and hope that somebody finds it.
Gibbs, could you not call Cold Brew and ask him to come and get this?
Could also do that.
You have his contact
That's a
info.
great idea. I call cold brew.
Okay, no problem.
But we're walking
We
as
left
we're having
this
this conversation.
No
Echo is not walking.
You're running.
Once they see you put it down, Echo's like, I was told to go to the hangar.
I'll be right there.
You call Cold Brew. Cold Brew picks up on like the second ring.
Yeah.
And you can see they look a little nervous and they've stepped off to the side to take this call, but they say, "You're still alive.
We are. Do you have anyone staying in the Bloodwalk?
We're all staying."
Okay. I'm halfway. I'm at the street of Aradoxal and Kiprny. Can you come pick up this hand cart I'm trying to deliver to you?
Why?
It's got vegetables on it.
Make a diplomacy check.
Echo comes running back. Also, why did you not just tell them where the greenhouse was?
This is my second not one! I'm so mad!
You look in the communicator, and Cold Brew, this big brown Yosoki, just goes, "We can't risk it. We already have guards posted. There's gonna be a war out there, and we're not trying to get hidden."
Okay.
Disconnects.
I sent him a text. Well, if you want it, it's at the corner of Kiprny and Kirpitsky, or whatever I said, Aradoxal, whatever the streets are called
Sure,
here.
yeah, those are the ones.
Yeah.
So you put it right on the corner of Kernipsky and Paradoxal, and
And I leave a note, and it says, "Dear Yosokis,
Gibbs.
love you lots.
Gibbs.
Hashtag Gibbs spelled with a Z."
Gibbs.
Okay, ready? Let's go.
You wrote 3 notes and made a phone call.
I'm trying real
it's
hard.
been 3 minutes at this point, so you could have almost already made this delivery.
You could have just told them that Henry's mansion was fully looted and abandoned and had a whole greenhouse, and
Are
the
you all
plants would
taking
still
the
be
car?
planted.
Yes.
At this point, the car with Shade, with,
If I see them, I'm picking these.
Yeah.
I'm picking her up.
you see the headlights
grab
kind
her
of turn
collar
around the
outside
corner,
the window
and
and
then this
drag
car
her.
with Shade, with Bubbles, with Spice, they pull up behind you, and like you stop, you look out to your left, maybe
I
30
have been
feet
trying
away.
to leave for the past 3 minutes.
Hold on.
Don't you
I
dare.
text Franklin exactly what Echo says, which is a way better idea.
no
I'm gonna assist
contest,
Shade.
just pulling Gibbs
You
into
know
the
what
I get it.
car.
I'm
and-
curious
going.
about is that you know that Bubbles and Echo have a garden.
Echo, are
and
you slowing
I'm
down to get in the
curious
car?
why you wouldn't collect
no.
Echo's running
the
ahead.
Echo's still going to
strippers and
Godfrey's.
shit for your teammates also.
Because we have a food
Echo to go
printer,
home.
and we don't eat the
I
dead.
said, go get the
But they
other
have a
two,
garden. That's
the other
like
two
their whole
ships,
fucking
and then
thing.
go.
Yeah, but who needs it more?
Because we need at least one.
I'm
so
just
that I can
saying, it's a
at least
thought.
No,
get
the people
another
who need it more
function.
So you're
gets
going to
it.
Godfrey's?
Okay.
Going to Godfrey.
You make your way to Godfrey's. The rest of you pile into this car and head off towards the hangar. Echo, you go to Godfrey's first, and you make it to the garage. It's shuttered. There are these steel things that go down. It looks very closed. You don't hear work going on inside.
Uh-oh.
Knock. Make a diplomacy check.
Oh,
You have to knock diplomatically.
Godfrey, it's me.
okay.
That's a 14.
He liked us because we got
There
him
is
money.
the clanging of your fist on the steel. You can just hear from the inside. Oh, shoot. That's it.
No answer.
Godfrey,
Oh.
I am just here for the ships.
Is that you, Rocco?
It is not.
was, Rocco?
It was.
MRS.
Oh shit.
Oh, sorry.
Oh yeah. Okay. Nice.
Yeah,
We're on it.
Yeah, we're
Rewind
on
that
it,
real
yeah.
quick.
Just like
Bottle cap for you.
All androids are the same.
so if he says the correct name, then
does.
Echo will respond in kind.
Yes.
So when you say yes, you hear like a little rattling chain, and then the shutter just opens just a tiny bit, and you can just see the eyes, pale white is this chameleon-like creature, and he just says, "What are you doing out in the street? It's dangerous. The war's about to start. You should have left already."
Echo just brings their eyes down level with his so that they're just shining through the little crack. We need the ships to leave.
They're not going to be able to fly. Do you have something to tow them?
Neither of them are flight capable.
No.
I was misled. Enjoy the ships. You might also wish to trash the transponders. And Echo zooms away.
Okay. Good luck. You just hear like shouted out through the doors.
For more, we need other ships.
As you're like running back, there is
Theft. Am I right? Am I right? Is this not what I said
message
earlier?
that you get from Godfrey, and Godfrey does say these ships will be there if you want them. They are going to trash your transponders though, but no problem. You your way back, and Echo, you still beat the rest of the group back to your landing bay, no problem.
It's just like jogging in place.
You get to the edge, and as you pry back the metal of the door, give me just 1 second here.
Make a reflex saving throw.
With a grenade, we never disabled.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Echo knows how to get in.
But yeah, Echo has seen it. Echo's seen it, knows the security
I love
measures.
that.
Seen it.
Seen it.
Echo, you open this sort of door, and you can see that there is the huge black hooded cloak that falls over the shoulders of this ponchoed individual. Hultex is no longer just kind of sitting passively. You can see at the moment they are holding a plasma pistol of a kind that you've never seen before. It is highly technical. You can see it looks to be made out of crystalline components primarily, and then has metal put in certain areas as almost an afterthought. You can also see there is a staff that seems to be made of an almost aircraft grade aluminum in the other. For just a moment, the gun drifts towards you, but as they see your eyes glow through the darkness, they stop. They nod to you, and they say, "Information. We have incoming. There is a fleet of USR that have arrived, and there are more on the way."
Confirmation. Among them is a swarm-class carrier.
You can just see the eyes just blink once.
What is it that you wish to tell me?
They turn and they say, "We must enter the drift immediately. I have coordinates that will bring us to the assemblage. Where is the rest of your team?"
They should be along shortly. I usually go ahead as I am a little bit speedier.
They nod and they say,
Dad had to pick the kids up at the pool.
"Will you be able to offer me passage to your larger ship? Or should I make arrangements to get there myself?"
Some arrangements must be made.
They hold out their communicator, and suddenly a map of the local system bleeps up. And you can see now all of the ships are correctly labeled on their map. So you can see not just the USR ships, but the pirate ones as well. You can see there's about 8 or 9 craft that are all kind of just spread across space, and you see one of them in real time just wink out as the battle seems to have already begun to engage. But they point towards the planet and they say, "Please indicate where your craft is, and I will meet you there."
Echo looks for a spot that's about like half a mile away from where the director is
Okay.
on the correct planet.
Okay.
Nice.
Make a deception check.
Bluff. That's a
sorry,
bluff
yes,
check.
bluff.
Oh.
Deceive with your
Are you
bluff.
doing that for another?
check.
Okay. I thought you were doing that for a different reason.
21.
I thought you were trying to avoid the USR.
Okay.
I'm trying
The
to
USR
avoid
isn't-
everyone right now.
They look you up and down and they say, "Query, do you not trust me?"
All right, he's not wrong to ask that, though. He's not wrong.
I value our ship.
Additional query. What do you value more? Clarification. What do you value most?
That is fairly philosophical. It is difficult to define.
You can see the eyes just continue to bore into you.
Is an answer required?
They kind of blink and then they say, "No, an answer is not required. But I sense that we have much in common, and our interests align. Where is your ship truly?"
A half a mile away from this point. It
That
would
will
give...
suffice.
Oh. If your interests are indeed finding and protecting my family, then sure, our interests are aligned.
Clarification. Who is your family?
Only part of them are here. Some are on that planet. Others I do not know.
They nod and they say, "That is not an answer, but very well." They turn and they begin to walk towards the main deck that you just came from.
Did Echo just call us family? Or did I misinterpret that?
I mean, Nikolai's on the ship, so you know.
Oh, duh, of course.
I've been just trying to get to friendship, you know? That's the hardest. I can't even get to friendship.
If I just got to like
We're all
family
still,
level,
Yeah,
this
we're all
is a different
still
conversation.
Work acquaintances.
Also,
Teamworkers.
Team
there are
workers,
no
yeah.
listening equipment here, and literally none of you are here.
That's true.
We're all still team workers.
As they turn the corner,
Garden buddies.
you can hear an engine and you know the sound of the engine from this car. The rest of your group putters into the bay just moments after Heltex has left.
Left.
Yeah.
Oh, he's going to get his ship ready.
Yes. Well, he's going to make arrangements to get there.
Yes.
He's so cool. I like him. I really like Hiltek. He's just so cool.
What did you hear from Godfrey?
The ships are available when we need them, but we will require a tow rope to move them. It seems that they are not quite capable despite your many long hours of hard work.
I did fuck it up pretty bad.
No, babe, you were fine.
I was the most epic move I
Babe,
think
you're-
I've ever done on
babe,
camera.
you're swaying as you talk. Bubba's gonna put her arm around
We
her and
need
try
to
to like,
get out of
stabilize her.
here now.
I might
Agreed.
cast sleep on
We
you.
might have to get cozy.
The four of you take these ships. I'll go to Godfrey's and make one of the others functional to get back to the director.
Why don't
Did we
we?
say that one person could ride on the back of the... No,
it
we
was Gibbs can ride in one,
No.
and Gibbs
I-
could also fit
I'm
in.
trying to figure out if
remember this.
mechanically
Yeah.
you could sit on the ship somewhere
Oh, technically, I think
Yeah.
I could with
because
my.
you don't have to breathe.
And
As
I
long
have
as you
my
don't
grippy
engage in
hands.
any like real maneuvers and you don't.
Yeah.
But I also have my grippy hands, so I
And we
have
can-
advantages
titanium
on
cable, we can
not
just in
falling
case.
Oh,
off.
I wasn't thinking
Yeah.
about space. I was just thinking about getting him to Godfrey's
Oh, yeah.
faster.
Yeah.
Well, hear me out, Spice Goes. Nobody's on the streets right now. These can't be
Because
the
it's
only.
going to be a war.
Right. So, if we wanted to maybe borrow one of the ships that's parked on the street, I'm just saying that
Are there
there's
any
no one
fish?
there to
She does have a point.
stop us if we need to borrow the
Are there
ship
any
to get us to the
closer
director.
ships that would be easy to just like get off discreetly.
You know, in the spine, there's a number of different like little landing sections, and so there's all kinds of different like little shuttles and
Which one's
things
gonna
like
be
that.
faster? Me going to Godfrey's to repair this enough, like with my miracle worker, to get it out, or just going and hijacking whatever one is on the street? Like, that's going to be functional enough to get off.
Go in and just hijacking one that you know is already functional to get off, just because you don't know.
Get it?
If you've already done the repair work, likely what you need to do to actually get the ship space worthy is to disattach them from like the actual repair bay and stuff like that, which usually takes about an hour per ship. It's something that you could probably make go faster, but ultimately
It's still going to be longer.
yeah.
To point out Matt's point, when we first arrived on the Zim Crawler, me and Shade landed in the spot next to
Next to the bar.
next to the
Shipyard Ascent and Liberty.
the dockyard with the big turret and stuff right there. So that could be a place. Was that in this land as well?
Yeah, so I guess that's closer. That is a good point.
I know it is.
Where would you like to drop me off, Captain?
Who wants
We'll
to
find
steal
the
the
nearest
ship?
We'll find the nearest ship and get back to the directive. Everyone has the coordinates.
All of you are getting an incoming transmission from Pete.
Oh no.
Pete, you answer.
Talk to me, Daddy.
You see suddenly the face of this white Yosoki, little pink nose. He is wearing his like nice silver mosaic officer shirt, but he looks around, kind of peering into this, and goes, "Hello, signal's kind of fuzzy. Can you all hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, congratulations! You guys did it, or you did something. The USR transferred a lot of credits. I should really congratulate all of you. Did you catch Henry?
Spice
In a
will
sense.
hold up like the bling and be like, it's still like dripping his like blood and shit, and be like, this catch is a strong word.
She's supposed to be caught alive, I thought.
Yeah.
We're in the middle of an evacuation. There's a war about to start.
We
Oh.
prefer to be far away from it.
Yeah, you should do that. Have you?
We are in the
we
middle
will
of trying
conduct
our escape
this.
plan.
Later.
Okay. Can I do anything to help?
Yeah, we need a fucking shit to get off of this godforsaken.
Shut up.
Are you on
Check
it?
it out. So Spice, I imagine, is like over Shade's shoulder because Spice never picks up the actual call.
Yeah.
But you just shut this communicator
Bubs
off.
is like
no
trying
problem.
to stabilize Spice. Imagine Spice is doing the weeble wobble.
I'm not. She's tripping, but not like.
Remember, we are in GPF ships, about to exit USR encroaching territory. They are going to attack us if
Trash
they
the
find us.
transponders.
Spice snaps into.
Bubbles.
Oh.
You get a little message on your communicator.
Oh, I got a message. Oh, what's
Other daddy.
that? Bubs will check the
Other
message.
daddy.
Other daddy.
Steal.
This is a very simple Mosaic LLC like automated message, and all it says is, "Congratulations, your debt has been paid off."
What?
Oh, hey guys, my debt's been paid. I don't even know I had debt. Oh yeah, El Paso Station.
What?
Shade and Gibbs, you each receive the same message as well, and you recognize that technically your debt to Mosaic LLC has been paid off by the completion of this mission.
What? What the what?
You are no longer obligated to remain as members of Mosaic Team 5, though you still do remain on contract and can remain so indefinitely. Or until fired. It is a two-work clause, technically, but we're getting into the weeds there.
Yeah, we'll just scroll.
USR Right to Work Republic. But Gibbs, Bubbles, and Shade, all of you have your debts completely squared with Mosaic LLC.
Guys, this is great news, but you know, I
Echo
feel
and
like we
Spice,
should.
the two of you wait, and you wait, and you wait.
Echo's got a little like calculator running. They know that they're not
Oh
anywhere
yeah, Echo,
close.
you know that you still have 12 million left.
Guys, this is great news, but you know, I'm still getting a little bit worried about this upcoming
Get in
war.
the ships. Get back to the Directive 0.
Yes, sir, Captain.
Stay out of sight as much as possible. Do not engage with the USR or the pirates.
What are you scrolling?
Spice is just scrolling through all of her unread text messages, trying to find the one that says your debt's
Hundreds
paid
of
off.
thousands. You could just a million.
I'm
different
sure it's in here
messages.
somewhere. It's in here somewhere.
Babe, can we do that later?
Yes.
It's a ton from Bubbles. Just, even though he knows you don't check him, still says, you see just good night, babe, like a billion times.
I feel like everyone else is like celebrating and like kind of happy and just like, yeah. And then you just like jump cut over to Spice, who's just like, and
Where is it?
for the first time, Spice is looking at her communicator.
Yeah, pretty
Echo
weird.
That's
is-
character growth. That's
Echo
character growth.
kind
I
of
don't
like
know if
stares
that's,
at
that
her
might
like
be character regression.
like we would if we looked outside and we saw a peacock walking down the street. Like, everything is wrong about this.
The updates, my god. The last time I looked at this was like 22
Get in the
10.
ship.
I'm in the ship. Let's go. All right, I'll get it later.
So what ship are you
Over
heading
here,
into?
hut.
They're getting in the tendon
Tendon slicers,
slicers.
yes.
I'm gonna go
Oh, I have to
grab
pilot
the
alone?
nearest.
Yes.
Or you could have Gibbs.
I'll
hop
Gibbs.
in.
I'll share with Gibbs.
Okay,
Gibbs can
no
pile
problem.
on.
And then I'm gonna go find one that is reasonably
Fuck.
like will
a great
fly under the radar, because it's also probably just gonna be like someone's fucking street thing. So I want something that'll at least get me there fast or
Sure.
have some protection.
Make a
Roll.
engineering check.
You know, I'm looking for the best one in the lot to get out of here as quickly and safely as possible.
Echo, we haven't taken off yet because we're just waiting for that, right?
No, you can all leave because I
No,
just have to
yeah,
go
let
get
him-
another
Yeah, I
Shit.
thought
ship.
you
Let
were
Gib-
going to give him a ride to that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess
Echo will
you
hang
can.
out.
Yeah. Engineering,
We're
you said?
just going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
37.
37. 1 second here. So you go out into the street, you look around. There's a number of craft, and as you make your way to the spine, you do note it has been substantially emptied out.
Yeah.
There are still a number of craft that are here, none that are super great, but with a 34, you can choose
37.
37. With a 37, give me 1 second here. I would say the pick of the craft that are available to you, there is a, it's called Sun Towing. It is a company that basically they tow starships that break down in and around the Zin Crawler and bring them back to be repaired. This is probably a indirect competitor to Godfrey, but you could just steal this kind of tow ship. It is a tier 4. Technically, it's a fighter.
Cool.
It has no weapons, but it is a at one point was hulled as one.
Okay.
But you can certainly try to grab that. Make a computer's check if you're gonna try to break in.
All right. And I'm going to use my exocortex to assist.
Nice.
Do like both simultaneously. Sure. Which is good because.
That's your new abilities?
No, that's just. I can do that because it's computers. 37 again.
Okay.
Nice.
With the 37, you do note that there is a single countermeasure. It is a verbal auditory alarm that goes off when your cot tries to hack this.
Don't do that.
So you disable the car's alarm and you open the door, no problem. This is a craft that is designed to transport 4 people through local space. There is no drift drive, but this will absolutely serve the purpose of getting you there.
Oh.
And it has the bonus of looking.
It looks like it's a non-combatant.
exactly. It's a non-combatant, and beyond that, it's really like a almost definitively civilian craft.
Yeah.
So you take that, and you can make your way off.
That's why I said
Yeah.
because we're in GPF.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
they're
Yeah.
they're made to not look like GPF, but they are still fighters.
Yeah, we did pink them up.
Yeah. They're the pink ones, but
Yeah.
yeah.
So once Echo sees that Shade has a vehicle, they're going to, and I think during that time Echo was trashing the transponder,
Sure.
because then my former GPF vessel looks like it's a stolen vessel,
Well, technically, they are stolen vessels.
but now it really looks like one. And Echo will leave him to his subterfuge business.
It's not. I'm just gonna.
It's subterfuge.
That's subs.
So are you leading this
My
group
God.
of fighter craft towards the moon?
Pity TV.
Is that the rendezvous point that?
Or are you going towards the shuttle rendezvous point?
So Echo wants to go to the director.
Okay. So that's, towards the planet itself. You're going to go and land on the planet and grab the director. You make your way there. You do note that at this point, a number of things have kind of occurred over the course of this incursion. The USR Aretha Franklin was joined by a huge battleship, about the size of the Manhattan that you had seen previously. This is the USR Philadelphia. It is a 12,000 foot long capital class battleship. There is also another carrier that has arrived, the USR Dua Lipa, and between those things, there is an entire fleet of the USR that is now present in this area. The pirate craft have been decimated. There is no sign of any active combatants left. This war was over before it even started, and you can see evidence of the USR closing in from 3 different directions. This was pretty effective. You do also note the USR Philadelphia, I believe. Give me just 1 second. Let me make sure I am correct.
Philadelphia.
I don't know what that is. Yes.
Always
The battleship, the USR Philadelphia, is currently positioned in such a way that you do need to pass it to get to the planet proper. You can take a much more roundabout way to do so, but you're still likely going to be making a piloting check in place of like a stealth check to get through unnoticed.
Echo would probably go with a stealth check.
Okay, you also don't have to. You could just fly straight through.
The fact that you had to.
I'm just
It's
mentioning
one of
that because
the
you're
you can
talking
certainly
about...
try things.
Yeah. Echo wants to go with the stealth check.
Okay, so go ahead and make a piloting check. And this is about your ability to fly through channels and lanes that are not going to be observed.
And then that's the +2 from the ship, yes?
Yep.
So that's 37.
Okay.
We love super high check.
With the 37, you fly underneath active scans that are currently going about. You get the sense that they are looking for ships such as yours, but they do not seem to pick up on you. You see the 2 destroyers flying in formation and protection. There is also 9 interceptors that are currently flying in the area. Not a single one of them, however, pings you. And you lead Bubbles, Gibbs, and Spice to the moon, no problem.
Nice.
Shade, how are you progressing with your tow truck through this battlefield?
Like a tow truck trying to escape a battlefield.
Make a piloting check.
People are merging to the right to let them.
I'm going right into the center of the battle. Let's go. Damn.
Are you? So it's a tow truck?
Piloting?
Independence Day reference already?
I feel
I
like
don't know what you're talking about.
Is that
this
the
is
one
still
where you go to-
okay, but
go
I
into-
feel
yeah.
bad about it. 28.
The 28.
It's
gonna be close.
I think I might want to re-roll.
You tell
That's
me.
my thing.
Wait, 28? That's not bad. That's good. Even
It's
for
not
Starfinder.
bad. But
I mean, it's not a 37. Don't get me
Gotta
wrong.
re-roll.
the USR
Okay.
Philadelphia is scary.
But wow,
Much
we
better,
just did
much
their
better.
dirty work. Like they can
He's
shut the
not
fuck
driving a
up.
noticeable ship.
Yeah, I'm driving a fucking
There's
tow
friendly
truck.
fire, is what you're
That's a 35.
Okay.
Okay. With a 35, you barely avoid being
Oh, sorry, it was
detected.
36.
Oh,
Passive flying
You
colors.
needed a 30, and so it was close. You managed to evade the active scans that are going out. The USR Philadelphia in particular seems to be scanning the area very actively, but no problem. You make your way through and to the moon completely unimpeded, leaving behind that battlefield and the wreckage that exists, the Zim Crawler, and you are now arriving in the same place as the rest of you. And you will see standing on the black surface of the moon, illuminated by the fact that they have just gray on, Hultex, who's just standing on the surface.
Oh hi.
There's no oxygen there, but they don't appear to need it especially.
Yeah.
And your ship currently unimpeded, just standing on the black ice.
I love your decks.
Get out
This better not
and get
be
on to the
Bastion
directive.
situation. I feel like it is. Spice immediately feels jealousy and maybe doesn't like Hultex anymore. We'll
No,
see.
I just like the. It's like
I know.
Tony Cicerone. I just like the character Joe made.
Jealousy.
cool character.
Yeah.
I-
Have you
I-
ever had a girlfriend before? This is exactly what happens.
My first girlfriend was not jealous.
Okay,
So-
well this one is.
You make your way aboard the director. Hultex, as you sort of near the ramp, would turn to follow you. Do you just allow him on board?
I'm gonna like take a little glance over at Echo.
We all just look
Echo
at
is
Echo.
just staring at Hueltex and just like keeping eyes, just like.
And I'm gonna be like, do you not have your own ship?
You can hear electronically broadcast because they can't speak in this sort of vacuum.
Oh yeah, I guess I have to do that too.
I was able to make my way here. A ship was not required for this locality.
Oh, that's so badass.
Wait, so he swam through space? So you swam through space?
He walks up the ramp, turns, and kind of regards you as you broadcast this over to their head, and they respond, clarification. I flew through space.
Spice just
I
like
continue walking up into the airlock.
doubles over it. Like, all right, that's pretty fucking cool. All right.
Shade's gonna take out a cigarette and go get ready to take the fuck off.
Before we take off, can Spice, like, as they're like closing up the doors and whatever and getting ready to enter the drifts, what have you, can I see what pirate ships are being attacked right now?
Make a perception check. I would say take a -2 conditional modifier.
All right, that's -4 because I'm on drugs.
Give.
Alright, it was an 8.
Your eyes get big, and as you look, it's like they zoom in, and the only thing that you can read is this, like, spray painted in bright yellow, the words "tits out," and that just takes over your mind. You can't read anything else.
Motherfucker, I hope
That
that's not
seems
my
to be
goddamn goddamn ship. I'd be
Maybe
so grossed
wreckage
out.
of a ship of some kind. Maybe it was like a poster, a huge poster on the inside of a ship.
Ew!
You don't know. It really kind of distracts you. You can't see any of
Sanji!
names.
Oh, I was gonna.
But
Brooks?
As they're getting on the ship, Echo would like. Is it whisper calm the director?
sure.
That's what. Yeah.
The director
okay, I'm
hasn't said
glad.
anything since you boarded.
I Bluetooth the director, informing the director of the guest,
Yeah.
and also requesting that anyone who anyone not Mosaic crew who access the computer just give me a little alert.
You see this little thing bleep up across the screens, and you just see "Welcome back, Mosaic Team 5." And then it flashes away, and another one pops up, and it says, "One missed message."
Oh no.
I'm taking off.
Can
Get a sad heat.
Wait, one missed message to who?
To the Mosaic Team 5, to the director.
But it's
Echo send?
Echo's the one who's
Can Echo
seeing
like
it. Right?
discern that if this is the director like committing to the bit, or if the director is
Without any check needed, the director is not displaying any of its typical kind of qualities. It is behaving as a ship computer typically behaves.
Okay, so this seems like
Deception check.
it's the bit.
Yeah.
Big LED screen comes down and a
Heard.
winky emoji happens.
This is Bruce Wayne covering up the Batcave
Yes.
right now.
Why would you ever think that there was a bat cave?
Interesting.
That sounds ridiculous, Alfred. Don't you think that sounds ridiculous?
You can do good stuff. Okay.
I'm trying to fly us off of this and away.
You make your way to the cockpit. Hultex follows you about halfway, but then seeing the kind of crew quarters and the table and everything to like sit by, will go and sit in that general area,
I'd shut
calling
the
out to
door in
all
his
of
face
you.
Anyway.
Are you gonna do that?
Well, once I get in, I'd go down to Pet Squeak and I'd.
Oh yeah. I thought you meant just shut like the crew door.
Oh no, no.
Yeah.
The cockpit door.
So no problem. You are all back aboard the director for the very first time in quite some time. It's clean. It hasn't gotten dusty in your absence. You do know that you have this little cleaning drone that definitely helps with that. But looking around on all of the overhead displays, there is one missed message that is from an official USR source. Aside from that, there is not a whole lot of changes, but Hultex does say to all of you, once we have cleared the immediate area, I am prepared to give you all a mission briefing.
It's a good thing Shade's still not not in there.
Echo has like Bluetoothed the coordinates for the Hardcore Henry meetup.
Okay. That coordinate location, dead center of this decimated pirate fleet, you get the sense that if there were people that they were going to rendezvous with, they would have left towards the beginning of that encounter,
I think
assuming
my
that they
mission is
survived.
completed.
I'm just dropping us
Wait,
into
so
the
did
drift.
we just kidnap Hueltex? What?
No, I'm just getting us out of this immediate
Shayla
area.
into the cockpit, close the door behind him.
Yeah.
Getting ready for takeoff to escape into the drift and then formulate a plan for where we need to go.
But isn't Hueltex the one who needs to tell us where
I don't
we
give a
So-
shit what Hueltex is doing. I'm in the cockpit.
What Echo
Right,
did was
but-
just transmit coordinates for the Hardcore Henry rendezvous, which is where all the destroyed ships are. So
So we don't
They're
need
dead.
it. So we're skipping that.
So Echo's telling him that, well, we completed our mission, they got what they wanted, and we're just going to run off into a random direction so we can get as far away from here as possible.
Towards whatever Hueltex needs us to do, right? Yes.
Echo hasn't given those coordinates, and I don't think Hueltex has given them to Shade.
Yeah,
So no, we're just going to a random
You
point
guys
right
just
now.
need to get out of
I'm
the
just
immediate
Okay.
I'm just
field.
emergency evac getting us into the drift.
Yeah.
Go in the Eclipse mode.
Oh, so you're just dropping into the drift?
Well, I mean, not like just a.
Yeah, let's go to fucking Lola's.
I'm setting coordinates for.
Lola's Diner.
No, we have the other.
The Vivarium?
The Eclipse.
Not the Vivarium either. No, the Eclipse Mall one.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, no problem.
Let's pick up Mari and me. Oh wait,
Dropping
they're not there.
in,
Yeah, they're not.
not planning to go, but
Yeah,
planning to
okay.
be able to change routes without doing the like maybe we die thing.
So
We
in the
could say hello
cockpit,
to our
you lift
best
off
friends
and away.
Lydell.
You leave the black planet behind you. You leave the moon of
kidding.
Zin off and to the right as this little dot. And in a moment, they just tumble away as real space falls around you like rain that moves off a windshield. And it is replaced gradually like a horizon coming up with faint glowing dark purple clouds of interstellar dust. And you have all escaped to the drift. You leave behind this combat. You leave behind the USR and whatever baggage or perhaps more positive baggage that may have been available to you. And because it is 8:10, we're going to step away for a quick break, and we will be back after 10 minutes to finish up our session. But thank you for sticking with us. We'll be back in just a little bit. And we're back. The totally normal Starfinder with totally normal people.
Of course.
When we left off, you had all dropped into the drift, away from the concerns of space and the battle that rages behind you. You now exist within the interstitial clouds that make up the lanes of the drift. You're in a place that is wide open, and you can see shade on the drift navigation clock. 24 hours, and then that begins to tick down to 23 hours, 59 minutes, etc., etc., as you make your way towards the mall. But you now have yourself at least a day to make a plan before you arrive anywhere else. You can change your course in the drift, of course. It does come with a few small risks, but I'm sure it'll be fine.
It's also why Clip Mall is 24 hours. We could just go there and then swap around.
Yeah. So what are you all doing?
I don't. Okay.
Monitoring our guest.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna be like, director. And so she points at the space that is the director, and she goes, "This is Hultex. They are guiding us to our next mission. Can you also get Peep on our call? I feel like Peep should meet Hultex."
You can see Hultex regards you from the dark space underneath the hood of this poncho. They look at you and they say, "Reminder, you are under the influence of some kind of narcotic. Whatever you are speaking to is not truly there."
That's what you think. And she boops his nose. And she goes, "Shade, get Peep on the phone. I feel like Peep should know about Hultex."
I'm still in the cockpit.
I know. Well, she messaged you with her fucking mind.
You message that. Anybody else doing anything? You watch. What are you watching for?
Honestly, Echo's just trying to watch for any shenanigans.
Make a sense motive check. Take a +2 conditional modifier to this.
Once we're safely into the drift, I do want to go and try to get everyone to not have a conversation with Hultex
Okay.
there, but have a conversation.
Sure.
34.
34. With a 34, you watch. The eyes do navigate around, definitely taking in the space and is interested in all of this. You can see seeming to kind of mark several locations in their head, but they're not doing anything suspicious. They don't seem to be, secretly transmitting anything or doing anything of that nature. You can see their weapons are still attached to them. They're not making any moves to draw them. They seem to really just be waiting. And when Shade comes out and the rest of you have gathered into this room, they would begin to speak. But is there anything else that people are doing before that?
Spice. It's just like this on Hultex.
Okay.
Just
As
like
I come in,
very too buddy right now.
Sure. They don't in no way do they act cold towards you, but that's almost even more indifferent.
Okay.
It's like hugging a statue.
Yes,
They don't really
Spice is
react.
familiar with androids. Yes.
Sure. Sure.
I'll
not
I'll just be here for the party.
Okay, you're there for the party.
I have stuff I want to be waiting for.
as I go in, I'm gonna say, everyone, we need to hold a meeting. Hultex, is it?
He nods and he says, "Clarification. My name, or my designation, is Clerico Guardian Hultex."
So,
With all due respect, we would like to speak as a team before we discuss our next plan.
Gentle reminder. You do not understand respect as it is understood by my people. As a layperson, this is forgivable.
What?
They turn, they look at all of you,
Excuse me?
and they say, "We will be jumping to a system designated 007Y-1A.
can you read that?
They beam a set of coordinates to you. It is 007Y-1A, and that is actually just the beginning of a longer string of numbers. There's another dash, 394F999F. This is one of many unnamed systems. I can give you that. I have it if you want it. But It is one of many unnamed systems that has just been kind of cataloged and then set aside to be examined later by somebody and just never really has been.
For just point of reference
Yeah.
and just like housekeeping, it's, I remember you said this before, but it is investigarium space, like near not investigarium space,
In the
but-
direction of,
Yeah, in the direction. Perfect.
It's an interstitial space that is not technically within the galaxy proper.
Perfect.
Right on the edge in a series of unnamed systems. But they send the coordinates over to you, Shade, the drift coordinates. You have never seen drift coordinates quite this exotic. They bear numbers and bylines that are unfamiliar to you. You've never been to this part of space. You're not quite familiar with where this is. It's outside of the Viscarian, it's outside of the galaxy. It's an unusual code. But Hultech says, here we will almost certainly be ambushed by interceptors. They will have changed since the last time, so I am unfamiliar with how many there will be.
Interceptors?
Correct.
From who? Like, who owns the interceptors?
The assemblage runs the interceptors. It is unclear that anybody owns them anymore.
What else do you know about this assemblage?
It is guarded by entities from the inside. This is where all of you will come in. Once we repel the boarding party that will be attached to your ship, we will make our way to the factory floor and find the device. Once we have obtained this, you can bring me to the nearest drift beacon that you have access to.
I don't think Shade knows, but also I don't know.
Sure.
We're going for a piece of all code?
Yes.
Is that
A piece of something that they have referred to as the all code. None of you really know what that is.
Okay.
He
They haven't
refused to
elaborated
describe-
either.
Refused to describe what it looked like, or kind of. He said he would know it, so basically we have to. It is not our job to find it. It is our job to protect.
I remember I did when we first, me and Shade landed in the docking bay on the Spine. I did do a cultures check on the Cult of Oil and Change, and I did share that information about them. So we know
Correct.
basic information. at
Yeah,
least.
and so this is a group that really believes that anybody not initiated into the cult of Oil and Chain is essentially
Parts.
not parts. They're uneducated. They're unenlightened. They are cave people. And so when he called you a layperson, even as a mechanic, even as sophisticated as you are, to him, you are a layperson.
Yeah, I'm an ant with, I'm a worker ant or something.
You're somebody's drunk uncle in their garage on the weekend. And they... That is how they see you anyways.
Yeah.
No,
That's
we did.
probably the reason why I didn't really want to.
But the reason why we have Hultex on the ship is because Hultex also knows about Pleiades Rock, right?
Yes, it is tied
The
to.
assemblage is owned by Pleiades Rock. Yeah.
Okay.
He knows something about everybody.
Well, he is also shown.
Oh,
he knows a lot
right. I
about
fucking
them.
forgot that he knows my whole life story.
Yeah.
Yo, I forgot about that. That's huge.
All right. Well,
Echo kind of like pulls Shade to the side. We're in like a separate room, right? Having this meeting? Or are we still?
You can go wherever you want. You guys are currently all within the living quarters.
With Hultex.
yeah. Yeah, we're all
I can
in
grab
here. I came in from the cockpit.
So
Yeah, they're up.
since you have suggested the team meeting, if Hultex doesn't move, Echo will kind of get up
Yeah, I would
To
go,
go
and
to
move
a
into
team
the-
meeting in a different location.
maybe go and move into the cockpit. But also at this point, he seems like. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I still want to have a conversation
Okay.
without him.
All of you
spying
make your
on
way. He
us.
doesn't follow you, and so you can make your way kind of cramp into the cockpit. You close the
Got
door.
4 seats and
It's 4 seats and
Gibbs.
Squeak, and so
And
it's
Gibbs.
pretty crowded.
So that's a whole different. That's fine.
And Cindy
Cozy.
is on our ship.
Cindy's
Don't
on ours.
forget.
So
Cynthia
that's
is
why.
over in the crowd
That's why
chamber.
Echo's like separate
Crow's
room.
here.
Yeah.
Separate room.
That's why, yeah. There's still a lot that we don't want Hultex
So
to
no
know
worries.
about.
You make your way in. You close the door.
Once like the door is closed, like Echo waits for like the little hiss, and They will turn around and do you remember that we have yet another passenger on board?
Yeah, of course. How could I forget?
How are we going to get to the vivarium?
We now have an obligation to this Huel tax. Regardless of whether or not we want to, they know more about all of us. That is dangerous to leave unchecked.
So you are saying we bring him with us?
I'm not saying that.
But isn't it also dangerous that we have, Cindy on board? I mean, you
Yes.
said before it was like having a bomb on the ship.
It is exactly like having a bomb on the ship.
This
want
is-
it
Now
off
we
as
have
soon
2
as possible.
bombs.
Yeah, let's drop Cindy off. Because Hultex is Mosaic Team 6, everybody! That's how I see it, I see...
Nobody saw it, but I made a whole graphic explaining
I know, it's
the different
fucking
Mosaic
awesome.
teams.
I loved it, and
good.
that's precisely why I
But the
said
numbers do not.
You'll
I
see
know.
it on the
numbers of people.
Instagram.
Mosaic Team 4 also has 5 people assigned to it.
Yes.
Mosaic Team 3 currently has 1.3 people assigned to it, depending on how you do math. And then, yeah, they're supposed to be 5-person teams. Anyways, I digress.
But I
I
don't.
didn't finish my thought.
Sorry.
That was
guys,
those are bubbles.
I think maybe you said, Shade, that you were able to help Sydney. Will Sydney be able to survive in the cryo chamber, at least until we can fix this issue with Hultech?
Given what we're being tasked with, it seems likely no. We will need to deal with Cindy before we go
What?
with Hultex. That is the problem.
What?
I
That's
thought
not
you-
a problem.
I thought you said she could stay in there indefinitely.
Not indefinitely.
Nobody could stay in there
Yeah, but
indefinitely.
It
what's-
was
but
a couple of days, and
Yeah.
it's been
It's been like
almost
2 or
2.
3.
you probably want to
almost
do
there.
like a life sciences check and then maybe do something to make it a longer term situation.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
getting them to a longer term storage facility would be better for her too.
Right.
Okay, so we could possibly just out of RP, we could probably just upgrade our station, and that would buy us a couple more days at least.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
With what? With where we're going? We're gonna find a chamber for...
How do we upgrade it?
Yeah, what
I
do you
know.
mean upgrade? What does that even mean? Is there a way to upgrade it, DM?
There is,
Yeah,
it
certainly.
requires
Shade could
materials,
definitely, if
CPVs
Shade had the
that need to grind
materials
it all
and the
down
time,
and
could definitely do it.
grind all this shit down and turn it all into other shit and
Well,
use
we're
that
not-
shit to
Problem,
make this
the
shit.
problem really is you could do that. You would need really high quality components,
And
you
it
don't
would
have a ton of
be
those.
tough to do that.
One of the
while
places
also
you
keeping
could
it
get
safe
high
from
quality
Hultex.
components is your tendon slicers. You could disable the cores. You could pull out some of those and maybe sacrifice one of your ships to upgrade the.
We already sacrificed 2.
I'll sacrifice my ship.
Yeah, but it's not like we're playing Lockout anymore, so fuck it.
Please, Shade.
This just turned back into a conversation.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah,
Full circle.
just went into character.
Yeah, I wasn't. Who?
Yeah, that was
Your Shade.
That one.
That's perfect.
Just,
Shade, are you
don't know.
denying life of Bubbles' fucking sister?
that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying we need to do something without Hultex knowing.
What something? What? I'm confused.
It
Would
would
it
be
not look strange if we were upgrading our cryo system while en route to a battle scenario?
No, that's none of his fucking business. I don't care if he... Also, does it even matter if he knows? He already knows literally my entire fucking life.
Spice, hold on, Captain. What were you gonna say?
It's nothing.
He probably already knows that
Echo is
Cindy's on the
right.
ship.
Are you able to communicate with Cindy?
I mean, it's more of a one-way street. They're more able to communicate with me than I am with them. Maybe Spice could, try to help me with that. I don't know.
What do you even want to say to her?
A check-in to start.
Okay. Check in and then what? What's the ultimate conversation?
If Cindy is to be involved with this situation,
it is only right that she has a say as well.
Right. So wouldn't she want to be upgraded anyway? I'm confused why we're not upgrading her
Ideally,
body.
she would be moved to a facility that can more appropriately handle her situation.
So
Our ship is not going to be adequate regardless of repairs and upgrades.
Right. So are we asking her, hey girl, can you like hold out for like 2 more fucking days while we do this mission with the stranger that we just brought on board? Or would you rather go to the vivarium immediately? Is that
the
what I'm
least
asking
we
her?
Can do.
What?
It is the least we can do.
Don't you think her answer is gonna be, take me to the fucking vivarium?
It doesn't
I'll ask
matter.
her.
Wouldn't it be possible for her to just live in the oil again if we unfreeze her?
Bubbles,
Yeah.
you get a message from Peep.
Yeah.
And this message says, and you can almost read it in Peep's voice, but the message says, hey, it seems like you guys are really busy and I didn't want to bother you, but we're able to convert one of those desert biomes to something that will be able to support something a little fiery. So whenever you're ready, just let us know and we can set something up.
Bubbles will show everyone the message. Is there anything we could possibly do with that?
Yeah, let's take the...
You get another one that just says, signed Peep.
I got this message from Pete. What do you think?
I think it's best to go to the vivarium before.
Aye, I agree.
Thank you, Captain. I appreciate this.
We will try to keep it as inconspicuous towards Hueltex as possible. We're bringing the ship for repairs before setting out on a dangerous mission. During that time, we'll try to get Cindy off of the ship as discreetly as we can.
Okay. Nods. Nods all around.
No problem. Are you opening up your kind of bay and going back to
Open up
Hueltex?
the bay to have another talk with Hueltex.
Okay, he's exactly
Right,
where
you're
you
sit.
left him. No problem. You walk back to this bay. He turns and says, I trust that was a productive conversation.
Yes. We will assist you, but first we need to stop for repairs to our ship. This is going to be a difficult mission. We want to be as adequately ready as we can.
They nod, and they say, we are in agreement. I am ready at any time.
Director,
He's a straight shot.
adjust course to the vivarium.
You hear a little ding. Can you make a drift check, please, here?
Oh, wait. If it's going to be the manual one, I'm going to go in and do it manually to not die.
Yeah,
You
that's a
get the
good
snake
idea.
eyes again.
Go into the cockpit.
Yeah, so I start walking to the cockpit, but I say that as I'm walking in.
No problem.
Justin in the drift again.
Yeah.
With Cindy on board.
I mean,
Let's get a roll.
it's either that or we wait the rest of the day.
Yep.
We're not in a rush anymore.
It's a D20, right?
Well, sort of. Well, rush.
No.
Rush.
Oh, wait.
I think it's
Rush.
2d6. But come on.
2d6?
As long as we don't go into the
Immediate
space between
peril.
the spaces of the drifts, we're good.
I don't even know what I'm rolling for in this
One second.
situation.
Not snake eyes.
All right, yeah. Roll.
Not
roll
the worst
1d6. Roll 1d6.
1d6? Oh, so it's... Okay.
It's just the drift one.
It's just
use
the
your
regu-
drift dice.
But it's like the...
Don't roll the worst number.
Yeah, but what even is the worst number?
We don't know, just don't roll it.
Okay.
5.
That feels good. Rather than a 1.
Almost close to 4.
Unless you did the table the way the drift days go.
I don't know.
You roll 5.
I think it's...
There is a shudder in the ship, and the time resets to 24 hours. It's just going to be 1 day travel to the Mosaic Vivarium.
I feel like there's a but.
I'm just ready for the part.
No, you get the sense that if you had not been traveling to a beacon and you had been traveling to a,
Random, like...
not random, but a general location,
Yeah, like if I had gone to the set of coordinates that I got from...
that would have been closer to like 10 days.
Yeah.
But you have not taken probably the most roundabout route
We're
in the
not ready
drift.
for a 10-day tour.
Yeah, you are taking a 24-hour flight. It begins to tick down again. You've only really wasted about
food maker, I
16
guess.
minutes in the drift.
All right,
But in about a day, you should reach the Vivarium.
cool. And then set back to course. Shade's gonna have another cigarette and just pet Squeak for a bit.
Okay.
Cockpit's unlocked, but
An hour goes by. Is anybody else doing anything?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, do you want to do anything with fuel tags? Because I know what I want to do with fuel tags. And it's going to be lame, so...
it's not gonna involve the
I was gonna
fingies.
say that Echo watches fuel text, but I don't think so.
I guess we're going to see what Spice
You
is
can
going
like
to
dress
do.
them up like a Christmas tree.
No.
That's impossible.
But
Spice does have a
also...
Christmas tree fetish.
Yes. So I
Comes
imagine...
once a year, but it's
Can I-
Spice is like, welcome aboard. This is our ship. And she doesn't do a tour. She just like points at random things without even like telling the correct room name. So she goes like, that's my room, even though it's the armory. And she goes, that's a kitchen. It's a bathroom. She's like, that's the med bay, but it's the kitchen, I guess.
Okay.
And then she sits him. She goes, come follow me, follow me, follow me.
He
And she
doesn't
sits him-
follow. Instead, he says, I decline your tour.
It wasn't a option, so come with me. This is our Christmas tree, and then what she does is she like pulls out like a bunch of fucking cards. She's like, I want to play a game.
Make a diplomacy check. Take a -8 conditional modifier.
But a +4 for being a diplomatic officer.
Oh yeah,
I
she
don't
got reinstated.
know. Did I? Okay, let's see. Diplomacy.
It's like the most devoid of
What's
joy
that thing
person.
they say? Ragrats? What? Ragrats?
Regrets.
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 All right, so +2. Hold on, let me sign in real quick.
This is Spice, our diplomatic officer.
Okay.
You should have a staring contest with
34 minus 8.
It'd be a really good game.
34 -8?
Yep.
That's
Pretty
26.
good.
26.
With a 26, unfortunately, all you see is just a blank stare. And then they respond with, I am not interested in games.
What are you interested in, though? We've got 24 hours to fucking pass the time, babe. What do you want to do?
I am interested in Triune and the All Code.
Try.
Oh, so tell me about Triune, then. I also am a woman of religion.
They look at you, and your diplomacy check is enough to engage them around that.
Okay. Nice.
But they
You have nice eyes.
turn over and they say, Triune is a representation of all that is technology. It is greater than any code or any device. It is everything that makes technology move and everything that makes technology what it is.
And is Triune the one who forged the device that we're ultimately going to fetch?
Triune is in all devices.
Do you consider yourself a device?
Even though nothing changes on their face, you are attuned enough to get a shudder of disgust out of them,
It's just a question.
but they just respond with no.
Okay. But what, so if Triune is the god of devices, right? Is that not what you're saying?
Triune is the god of all that exists within devices, much as my frail organics are a loathsome but required part of my being. Devices are required to conduct the truth that is Triune's all code.
If you could, would you replace all of your parts, your biological parts, with devices? Truth or dare? It's the same for both.
Gibbs is just like, not Gibbs. Echo's just like, I think that's would you rather.
yeah, would you?
He's probably standing.
Would
in the
you
doorway,
rather?
Truth.
or, like, in
To
the
be
drift.
embraced by the all code should be anyone's greatest aspiration. Clarification. To do so is impossible. I was created impure.
I don't think you're impure, hon. You look great to me.
We are all foul organic beings.
Oh, I definitely agree with that. Don't get me wrong.
Some of us more foul.
Than others. Interesting. So you want to achieve ultimate, like, non-biological parts, but you know you never can. So why are you still seeking after it?
Because to want is immaterial.
To want is immaterial? Did I hear that correctly? To want is immaterial. I would say to want is material. That's the most biological desire, is want.
Query. Has wanting ever brought you happiness?
Oh, honey. I need a bottle of wine first if we're gonna talk about that. And I would say...
Clarification. That was a rhetorical question.
Oh, I couldn't tell.
Desire brings disappointment.
Spice
I like this guy.
doubles over and she goes, "You're quick. You're quick. I like you. I like you a lot.
You have redeeming qualities.
Oh my god, that's the highest praise I think I've ever gotten in my whole life. Thank you.
Bubs is gonna probably just be watching Spice in the conversation.
And that's
We got eyes on
You and
each
Echo
other.
just watching this.
yeah.
How's the streams?
You guys are just like
Shade's
sitting
also
on
in the
opposite sides of the
doorway.
room while we're
Shade
sitting on like the yellow
drift,
couch in the middle.
Everybody is really just supervising Spice having this
Watching this
conversation.
conversation
No
unfold.
problem.
Being
So
like,
Gibbs,
good scene.
you are
Thinking
all
about
in the
it,
drift now, making your way towards the vivarium.
6
Your field
days?
tech's aboard. It is only going to be 24 hours.
Yay.
You're making your way very quickly. Right now, Spice is having a conversation with Heeltex. Tried to get Heeltex to play cards. That didn't go quite as well as Spice imagined. And now they are talking about religion.
They're just discussing the philosophies of Tultex's religion.
Are we all participating in this?
Spice.
Watching. You're all watching.
Okay, but listening. Okay.
It's because Spice is also high.
Yeah.
Well, probably not in 24 hours. It unfortunately wears off in
2 hours, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, like,
Probably
probably
around
by the
now.
end of the conversation,
It's like,
she's
oh.
not high
It's an
anymore.
aftermath.
You're
Yeah.
sitting there
Now
like
Spice is just
after
Now
the
Spice is
countdown.
faking it. Spice is faking it now.
gotcha.
Yeah. And with your,
Echo's just like, oh, conversation is more coherent.
but the hours tick down. Is there anything that people want to do over the 24 hours between now and the vivarium?
Fix a couple things in my inventory.
Okay.
Like I'm gonna add the fusion and stuff, and then I'm gonna divvy up the stuff that we got from Hardcore Henry, but by placing things into the armory, which
Okay.
I'll put on the Discord.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
Long rest.
Okay.
And then yeah, like long rest and use my engineering puzzle box and play with Squeak and yeah.
Echo's just gonna watch Hultex
Rest.
all night.
Okay. So
Shade would go and take
you're not taking a long
watch
rest.
at some point.
Nope.
Shade
Echo's
was-
just
With
gonna
Echo
watch
not taking a
Hultex.
long rest, everybody else can successfully mark off the long rest.
Thank you for taking one for the fucking team.
Everybody else, other than Echo, wakes up a little stronger than they went to sleep as you all level up. But
You sacrificed your level up.
not sacrifice, it's just happening like 8 hours later, which is like 2 minutes probably in game time.
Yeah.
But yeah, you definitely keep an eye, and you do note Yuldex does not get up. They do not use the restroom. They do not ask for any water. They do interact with Spice. They do look around and are taking note of everything. But aside from that, not really engaging in a lot. It's almost uncomfortable how still they are. The head slowly turns, and it's really just through like backing up your image and looking at how he was 5 minutes ago that you can see the slight variations in their movement.
It's just like
Echo's also trying to, like,
security camera.
Monitor any like signals that are going out from him.
Nothing. He is almost like a
On
deadened
sleep mode.
signal.
Airplane mode.
Yeah,
Very
it's
much like on airplane mode.
I imagine
There's
he's
nothing
also
coming out
kind of doing that new TikTok trend called raw dogging planes.
I'm
where you just
sorry,
sit there and you're just
what?
like this.
Sir.
You and I are in different versions of TikTok, I think.
I'm not on TikTok. I just know that.
Raw
First of all, the
dog.
fact that you think that Dan can access TikTok from his technology, amazing.
I assume it was
Second,
provided by the Chinese government.
oh my god.
Dan's computer's having trouble with, like, MySpace.
Oh dear.
If we had tallies still,
Okay, so nobody's raw dogging airplanes today.
Spice, are you around?
Yes. Well, Spice was
you like
entertaining
to rest?
Hueltex until
Strong
she fell
word.
asleep. Like probably on the couch
Shade
next to
would've
Hueltex,
swapped out
talking
a
about religion.
guard.
But you can wake her up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna slumber party style. If
Okay.
Echo's in the
So we're like asleep by the Christmas tree.
yeah, and if Echo's like fucking around there, like I don't know, I'll just
Yeah.
hang out there and
Apparently Shade would have come in and
Swapped
switched.
watch, yeah. Like,
Echo.
once we're in the drift, I would like rest and then change watch so that Echo could, because we definitely want to keep an eye on Hueltex.
Androids don't trust you. You cyborg.
No problem.
What do you want? Gibbs? Yes.
how you doing?
I'm doing well. What is that? That feels like you're.
I
that
hear
feels
this
like
happening?
you're
We're all sitting
inquiring
in this-
about
Yeah.
how. That's more of a. That's. What do you mean? What are you getting at?
Just it's been a long 24 hours, eh? How are you feeling about Hardcore Henry's like last 4 sentences?
You weren't there.
Yes, she was.
I was there,
She
I
was
was
the
up
one who
there.
broke the
Gibbs was
fucking
there.
windows.
She was like,
Okay,
Yeah.
so
I was
yeah.
right there.
Gibbs is probably a little dazed because they had just used their head to break through plate glass, but aside from
No,
that, they
his
were there.
final words, like all the way through the battle, was
no wonder Julian hates you.
Yeah.
And I was
Yeah.
like
She was
right
actually
there.
passed
Yeah.
out for that moment, I believe.
No, Spice
No.
wasn't.
It was-
that was
No,
the
no.
thing that,
That was
knocked
what
Spice
knocked
out.
Spice out. Yeah.
That was the last thing she saw before she fucking died. Well,
came back.
became unconscious. Yeah, it's different.
Bled out.
Starfinder. Yeah. You know, I haven't really had time to process it. I'm not going to lie. We all know that Julian is something that I have pushed down for a good long time, and I'm not gonna lie. When Hueltex showed me that Julian is a grown man now, that changes the reason why I'm here, Gibbs. I have different goals than I had when I started.
There's so many reasons we are what we become. It's a choice. Just, I love you regardless.
Angel, I love you too.
Hueltex is sitting right there for this whole conversation.
Yeah.
And so he does turn.
She does not regard
Yeah.
him, but or them.
He's an ally.
Yeah.
He does say, seeking clarification. Why did you not talk to Julian while you were aboard?
Aboard what? What do you mean?
The Zin crawler.
Spice doesn't know that he was there, so she's gonna be like, what are you talking about? Julian, I haven't known where he's been for 20 years, or 10 years, or 8 years.
Some amount of years.
Yeah.
Ages.
hasn't been a Julian around here in 25 years.
Sorry, but just serious.
Julian has been working closely with an individual named William the Pleaser for some time now.
Excuse me. How do you know that? How do you know that, Hueltex?
Because he has been aboard the Zin crawler for the last 6 months.
6 months?
And he left close to an hour ago aboard the Dark Humor.
Where? Where is he going? And she'll like get up from the floor and like
Spice.
grab his collar and be like, "Where's
You
Julian?
grab the collar, the head doesn't even move. Slowly he looks up to meet you.
How do you know this?"
And he says, because it is our business to know. Please release me.
Business to know you sound like you work for William the Pleaser, you
Spice,
bitch.
calm down.
You kind of shake and there's like spittle on the
Yeah, she's
visor.
spitting on his face.
Yeah, no problem. Is anybody grabbing Spice
Yeah,
off
I'm
of Field
grabbing
Text?
Echo waking up.
Spice.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure.
How do you know where he is? As she's being
Spice,
What? You heard him.
Go.
Hueltex, answer me.
go cool off.
He turns and he says, it is understandable to act in such an irrational way. This is a product of desire.
Yeah, of course it's fucking desire. I desire Julian as much as you desire fucking having a fake body.
Julian works with the Carbon Cartel. We monitor all communications with the Carbon Cartel aboard the Zin Crawler. A standard procedure.
Is Julian the reason she has a bounty?
Clarification. No. Spice has the largest bounty on their head due to a incident on Aura's Bay. You can see their eye lights up and they broadcast this robbery of a casino with Spice and Bubbles running away, holding all this stuff.
But that bounty's not with the Carbon
You
Cartel,
can see there is that's certainly with the
I
Carbon
mean, Red
Cartel.
was a mobster.
Red
No,
was a
but Red
mobster.
was part of it. Red isn't
Like,
the
you have the
backbone
bounty.
of
We
it.
killed a
Yeah,
guy who
bounty
worked with the
before
Carbon
that.
Cartel.
Red probably is the person that initiated this whole procedure. Red had one of the talismans.
Oh,
You took out Red.
I thought this was before Red. So
No.
Red had, so this started, so like the 21 million is from...
This is entirely a result of your own actions, yes.
And you have the additional
Oh, I thought it was because of my dad.
No. There is an additional debt that you are unaware of that is related to your father. You haven't
Oh.
really dug into that so much.
No, we haven't. Okay.
But
I misunderstood.
This is irrelevant to where Julian. How do you know about? So
Spice.
Julian works with William the Pleaser. That means you worked with the William the Pleaser. How can I trust you?
Spice.
Incorrect.
That's not what it means.
Clarification needed.
William the Pleaser is an information broker. They work for themselves.
That didn't answer what you have to do with all of this.
I manage information.
Like William the fucking Pleaser.
William the Pleaser is a useful source.
Okay. All right, Hiltix. My information broker aboard my ship. How or where is Julian
Fueltex
fucking
is a
headed?
guest aboard our
Fueltex?
ship, and you should treat him as such.
Clarification. I am not a guest. Additional clarification. You are not my hostages. We are helping each other, though you may not see this yet. I will answer Spice's question,
So help me.
which was, remind me.
Where is Julian headed?
Upon the dark crawler.
dark humor.
Dark humor. Pyro crawler.
So he's aboard the ship called the Dark
Humor.
Humor.
I wonder if that's
Julian
his
is
ship.
aboard a ship called the Dark Humor. It is owned by the Carbon Cartel, and it is destined for a system called Aura.
Or his bay.
Aura's Bay is a planet located within the Aura system.
Do you know why he's going there? Does he have a manifesto?
Clarification.
Yeah.
I am not a wizard.
Well, I don't
Well,
know.
you sure sound like fucking one. How did you get all this information, Hiltex? Who gave it to you?
I read the transmissions from the departing tower.
You did. Fancy skill you got there. That was a nice setup, I think. I didn't see it, but it sounded cool. Thank you, Fueltex. That was useful. I appreciate you. Thank you for flaring up my desire.
There's no response to
Echo
that.
goes back to bed.
You go back to bed.
Spice is not.
The hours count down. And is there anything else people want to do before you arrive at the vivarium?
I think after that conversation, seeing that he's gone back into his kind of like rest mode, I would go to the engineering bay,
Okay.
do some work for a bit, and then.
Okay.
Can I ask you one more
fix them.
thing? Unrelated.
I guess
So Spice, I think, just like is while she's fuming, furiously texting Mari and Meek, who's on RS Bay, being like, "Julian's coming." It's kind of incoherent, but she'll like as she's like messaging them, she's gonna be like, "What gives? What?"
I'm still keeping watch.
So GPFs. Why
I'm still.
did you
keeping watch.
recycle when you were a soldier?
What? Of all the questions, Gibbs, what does that have to do with fucking anything
Gibbs,
right
your
now?
communicator begins to ring.
Oh.
And it is coming from Socrates.
Oh.
Ba-ding.
You open it up. And you can see that there is. Give me one second.
Oh, are you like
Yeah.
holding it up for all of us to see?
I was just talking about you, kind
You
of.
can see Socrates, this huge bulbous Yusoki-like head, currently a little singed and charred. You can see some of the fur is like smoking still a little bit, and in their hand they're holding what looks like some kind of an electronic pistol of some kind. But they are breathing hard, and into the communicator they just go, "Gibbs, are you there, Gibbs?
Yeah, I'm here.
There's been an incident."
Uh-oh.
They kind of turn and look behind them, and you can hear stone crumbling. But
My
they
hometown.
turn and they just say, "There are people missing from your compound, Gibbs. I don't know how many they took, but we were able to protect many of them. Rentropy has moved the entire trash ring. There is something happening here."
Oh, no.
And you can hear more stone kind of crumbling down. And they just say, "Gibbs,
Yeah.
be very careful if you come back to the Fade Star system. We'll do what we can here."
Who did they take?
They
Anyone specifically?
turn
His
and they
name?
just say, "I'll send you a list."
Okay.
Like,
Are you
cut off
okay?
the communication.
Whoa.
That seemed bleak, honey.
Yeah.
What's going on?
I guess.
Wow, Yuletex, you came at such a ripe time. And that's all she said.
Tex will turn and look at you for like a solid 5 minutes, Gibbs, and just stare at you.
What do you think about hope? Hope's a type of desire.
Is hope desire? Riddle me that
wanting-
one.
Something better.
Hope is a distraction.
Ouch.
Action is better.
Hope guides action.
What are you hoping for, Gibbs?
I guess the best outcome at the base of it all.
What is the best outcome, Gibbs?
Well, it's driven by reality of what's feasible, but as least amount of suffering as possible. And I know suffering and quantifying that is incalculable, probably. But you feel it.
It is a complicated calculation.
That's all. You think they're okay?
Would you like me to check the destination of the Rentropy trash?
Would you do that for me? I don't have much to offer you.
They turn, and for just a second, the eyes go dark. They're going to make a computer's check.
Yuletex, are you doing this for free? Why are you helping us?
With their eyes still dark, they say, "Clarification. Nothing is for free.
That's
But
what
we work for similar ends, though you may not see this yet." The garbage is being moved to pick up additional momentum around Aura's Bay.
Can I ask it? Is Petrus 4 and Aura's Bay close?
They're close-ish, yeah. No, it doesn't really matter with the drift existing. It
Okay.
doesn't matter how physically close they are.
Okay.
But yeah, they're in the same quadrant of the galaxy.
Ooh, I don't like that. Is there gonna be starting to dump in RS Bay?
No, the whole point of Retropy is undumping.
Oh,
But Aura's
It
Bay...
is to clean the waters
The
around the
waters-
resort.
are already dead. There's fucking no life in that water. Have you ever been to RS Bay? Anyone with eyes can see that there's no life in those waters.
There is nothing important in Aura's Bay, but your statement is factually false.
Oh. Explain.
Reports indicate that there was life aboard Aura's Bay prior to it being settled, and this life could not be eradicated. It was moved.
Moved where? Why? Why was it moved? I don't care where. I want to know why.
Because it is large and dangerous.
So they took the sea kings out of the sea?
Was it singular?
Unclear.
Who? Hultex, you are a being of wealth of knowledge.
They send you a file, Gibbs, and on this is a brief history of Aura's Bay. It is appended, and clearly this is something that they clipped together very quickly, but it does contain a little history, and there were monstrous beings that existed. And I think you had actually heard about this when you had been aboard Aura's Bay as well. There are these buoys that have been set up to create these fields to keep them away from the actual resort, but I think there was an old man that specifically told you not to go beyond the buoys because then you'll die.
Because you
Right.
get fucked by the giant monsters.
Exactly.
Why would they move the trash to Aura's Bay?
No, isn't it that they're
They're moving-
emptying it more? Isn't
So
that-
the garbage ring is that like the Saturn ring that now surrounds Petrus 4 is
Yeah.
being moved, which
around Aura's Bay?
around Aura's Bay to like pick up more. So it's to take trash from the land to
Right,
the
to the
sky.
outside. Right. Okay.
But like, it's not good.
Why?
Well, because you have a giant smoking trash ring,
Around Aura's Bay?
which is like a tourist planet. It
Right.
seems a little like fucked
But
up.
isn't that also, if it's a trash ring around the planet, isn't that good for tourism because it's sucking all the trash off of the planet into
Isn't
the
that
ring?
also what you would want?
To suck trash off the planet and burn it into the atmosphere.
You said yourself you want the most reasonable outcome so that the least people are unhappy. Wouldn't offsetting it by equalizing all of the planets be the best way to do that?
What?
The original
Why should
unhappiness
Horus
that
Bay be a resort planet
why should
Well-
Aura's Bay be a resort planet?
while Petrus is trash?
Well, that's the whole thing. Petrus isn't trash to some people.
It was originally
Right, it
That's
was
what
a
I
trash
said.
planet. And that was
There's a
good.
flaw in your reasoning.
What?
You don't care about the relative goodness. You have concerns for the people of Petrus 4 and their best interests. That's why moving the trash causes you concern.
Does it not cause you concern that this mysterious trash ring showed up at Petrus 4 under?
It causes me concern, but for different reasons. Personally, I care not about the planet itself, but I know that it means a lot to you, which is why I care.
But if we now know Rentropy is working with the GPF, are we thinking this trash ring is really just a trash ring and not some
No.
sort of cover?
That is also why I care, because it is a part of the larger happenings going on. We need to find out more about it. But currently we need to stay focused on our mission with the Owl Code and Hultex.
Insanity. Why are you looking at me like that?
Fueltex is just staring.
Sitting
Still
right
Gibbs.
there.
So what?
Thanks, Hultex. I owe you one.
The eyes flash back on, and they nod, and they say, again, we are working towards a similar outcome.
Indeed we are.
So,
Do you want to go over here? He's one of us. I mean, they're one of us now.
Or Shade would go.
Okay, you go and go off.
Spice
towards
will
the kind of
entertain
landing
Hultex just by like. Spice is gonna play the drift funk. What did I say? Drift funk? You'd be like, I made an LP. Do you want to hear it? And Hultex,
What are you doing?
No,
she plays it anyway.
I know. So you begin to play it. The eyes again go off, but no problem. They're maybe listening. You and Shay go off to the side.
are we going to the vivarium and we're just gonna let Hultex loose, or he needs to have a handler each? We're not even letting him loose on the ship.
Hultex will remain on the ship while we offload. It will be a quick drop-off.
Got it.
We will make repairs.
Okay.
The rest we will do on our way.
Okay. The rest of the time counts down, and before too long, you reach 0. And you
Do I get a long rest?
you get a long rest as well.
Yay!
We all got there.
And as you level up, you drop out of the drift and into the Void Chill Shoal where the Mosaic Vivarium exists. You can see it is still there, although there is noticeable amount of work that has been completed along it. You can see as you approach the dock on the sunward side of the station, the ladder that had been there previously has been replaced with a proper elevator. There is no more cargo crane on the top. You can just bring things up and down an actual elevator now. And as you land, you can make your way in and are greeted in the top central chamber by Peep.
Oh, does he know we've
Oh my god, hey! Peepa, I've missed you.
Even though Peep calls and you never pick up, you say that.
Yes. It's been so long. Look at your little chin hairs.
And you scratch his little chin hairs. He pushes you away.
Stop! I'm your boss.
You look so
That
good.
was a good Peep voice. That was really good.
I can't find my music. Where'd it go? Okay, well, oh wait, I saw it.
Beep, you look like you're doing well. We haven't been stressing you out too much, obviously.
Oh, well, you have, but
Yeah, but look at what.
no,
you-
I miss you. I missed you too, Spice.
Yeah, he pushes you away and goes, but please just remember my bones are really brittle. All of you did really well. I was trying to tell you before, but the USR has been trying to get in contact with all of you. I guess they said don't worry about not finding Project Cuttlefish. I'm kind of unclear as to the specific details, but congratulations to you, Gibbs, and Bubs, and Shade. All of you have fulfilled your debt contracts to Mosaic LLC. Congratulations for that. Unfortunately, Echo and Spice, you have multiple millions left, but that's okay. I'm sure we'll get there eventually.
Echo's like half listening and just like kind of watching Yultex.
Sure, yeah, no problem. He turns and says, also, they sent this, and he holds out a little titanium hollow puck, and he taps it, and popping up in 8K definition, there is this beautiful projection of what looks almost like a stone tablet with all of this writing on it. It is a letter of marque for the USR.
Wow.
And Peep explains, yeah, so this really, when you read all of this stuff, and I have to get this over to Nazma to really kind of go through the legal parts of it, but you essentially can work for the USR against any craft or nations that the USR is at war with and are protected from all legal repercussions.
We became privateers.
I was gonna say
That is what a letter of marque is.
We just became privateers.
I don't know what that means.
We're pirates.
we're legal pirates.
We're legal pirates.
Oh, we're
pirates on
warlords of the
behalf of the
sea.
USR.
Yeah.
This does
If you
grant
use One Piece, definite check.
Yeah, Peep says this gives you a lot of leeway in terms of what you're able to do. You are able to circumvent certain local laws within the USR, and it also means that I would have to check. I don't know who the USR is at war with right now, but I'm sure at least one or two people, and that means that you could just raid their ships completely with immunity, as long as you're not within their territory.
Does it come with a hat?
Does it come with a hat?
Yeah, like
A badge.
a captain's hat.
It comes with this puck.
That's it.
Well, it's official.
I can't
take
wear
it.
it. How are people
How-
supposed to know?
Yeah, how are the USR?
Well, evidently they had a whole bunch of things that they were going to give to you, but they couldn't find you aboard the Zen Crawler.
Ooh, tell us our location.
But they had a bunch of armor. I guess they had a couple of weapons.
Fuck!
It looks like they had a whole case of proprietary USR Department of Defense fusions that you can't get anywhere else.
Fuck!
It looks like they had something called a team building charm.
And you can afford that to us, right?
It looks like you did leave the craft with them, right? Those are USR property, technically.
They are
The Tenant Slicer.
Some of them.
Okay, well, those are owned by them, so, they do want to repossess those, but they said that upon reception of those, they will get a railgun for your ship. So that seems like it's a pretty good
That'd be
trade.
fucking...
Oh yeah, we asked for all these.
I had. We could discuss this with Admiral Woe after we had evacuated safely.
Oh, it wasn't Admiral Woe that sent this message. It was an Admiral Broadstar. I guess they were there aboard the Philadelphia. I haven't seen it myself, but it's supposed to be a sister ship to the Manhattan. It's supposed to be very impressive.
Do you have means of contact?
Yeah, no, we can get in touch with them.
Wow.
And you're gonna do the paperwork to forward the laws and circumstances here.
I will file an official debrief with you.
Yeah, I'll see what I can do. I mean, it seems like they kind of just had that stuff all ready for you already, so I don't know that they'll be able to get it to
They
you.
cut off communications.
I find that hard to believe, Gibbs, but
vaguely, I think, what happened.
It
I'll
will be
file
in
an
the
official brief with you.
briefing.
Okay, that sounds good. In the meantime, though, Bubbles, we do have a more secure location that will provide, I think, a at least livable environment.
Oh, great.
Where are they?
We will be bringing the plants out shortly.
What?
Echo's just been staring at Hueltex the whole time.
Spice
He
will
looks
like
up.
tap
Hueltex
into.
didn't come with you, so Hueltex stays on your ship.
Yep. Hueltex is still like kind of like.
Sure, you kind of are
Hueltex,
looking
Echo.
up at Hueltex, no problem.
Spice will explain the situation into Peep's mind.
Okay. You go into the
With telepathy, so that's
You see
good.
Peep's
Yeah.
eyes go wide, and Peep kind of.
Yeah. She says out loud. She goes, yeah.
Probably wouldn't have led with card games myself. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Well. Okay. The plants will be great to bring the plants to the cold room where plants love to be. I'll go get it set up. Bubbles. I'll show you where it is.
Yeah,
He
perfect.
Leads you off and towards the desert biomes.
Checkmate. All right.
We need to get Cindy off of the ship now. Without Hueltex.
Oh, I've got it. I've got another LP he can listen to. They can listen to. I got it.
He will need to be removed from the room, most likely.
Well, I'll just take him. I'll show him around the cockpit, I guess.
Try to bring him in here.
That's the med
That's
bay.
where he's at.
No, he's in here, right?
He's wherever the couch
Or
is.
he's in the couch room.
Which is
she's in
this?
the
Yeah, he's in the
she's in the
main
cryo chamber.
Yeah.
Cryo chamber is
I'll
in
bring
here.
Hueltex.
I believe it is.
Cryo chamber is like right
I
here,
think it's in
isn't
the
it?
room that Cindy is in the
I go,
cryo.
hey,
Cindy got-
Hueltex.
Got jolted around. Cindy was
Gotcha,
initially where
gotcha,
Matt's
gotcha.
fingers were.
Right.
Yeah.
Cindy was over here, right?
Yeah, I feel like that's where her thing was.
So he's already in here, so we just need to get him. I guess we can just go in and move her, but it's gonna be like a process, right? Because we have to put her in the oil and bring her down and out.
Isn't she already in it? She's already in a chamber.
But she's
Right,
in her
but
cryo chamber.
We need to bring her from the chamber.
Just
to
bring the
this
whole
other
fucking
place.
chamber, empty her out into the
Can't
land, and then
So
just
you can
the
bring
chamber
the
back.
sort of the drum that you had brought
you
Cindy
can?
in. You can
Oh
wheel
yeah,
that
yeah,
in.
that's the one that I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah, you can
the
just wheel
drum.
that by. Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, I
it
wanna
will look a little
transfer-
bit suspicious.
Well, he's over here. He's
Yeah.
not even gonna have to see.
Yeah,
Please.
as long as he doesn't see, it'll be fine.
Entertained.
Yeah, keep him distracted.
You could hear the sound of Spice just jamming.
Like I started on this
can-
new riff.
Somehow it
Be in
sounds
communication.
non-consensual. But no problem. You
Just like
go
the
and you
army.
grab this. Shade, if you want, you can go and get this drum and you can wheel it out. It is absolutely frigid to the touch, and even the ambient temperature as you open the door just freezes. And so it's like when the door opens up, there is a burst of ice crystals. But you can pull this out, no problem. And you can follow Bubbles and Peep to the desert vivarium, where there has been a large section next to where the scorpions all live that has been markedly changed. And though it does still have sand a little bit along the ground in the corners, it is just brushed steel floor, and there's just bits of frost that cling to elements of the area around it. And then you recognize all at once it's not frost, the entire space is filled with a clear gelatinous substance of some kind.
She's got a tub of aloe.
Sort of not dissimilar to that, yes. The door itself has been modified, and so it has a pump in it that serves to be able to move all of the substance to the outside. It's almost like an airlock, but for aloe. And Peep explains how it works to you and says, it will be really unpleasant, I'm told, when she has to breathe it in for the first time, but once it's actually in her lungs, she should be able to breathe it almost like air. It is thicker than air, and so I apologize. Vesson said that he'll work on something to make it a little bit easier to breathe, but aside from that, it should be safe, and that's the most important thing. And we can make it more comfortable. We at first had a bed in there, but with the gel, it kind of dissolves a little bit over time. We need to find some kind of a synthetic cotton, maybe. But don't worry, we'll find something.
Yeah, that's good.
Can we open it so that Cindy can move?
Echo would have
Cindy,
like
yeah.
come along knowing that they're going to be transferring Cindy. I'm hoping that Hueltex is reasonably distracted.
Gibbs and Spice are on the Hueltex distraction squad.
To provide technical assistance when necessary.
So you have caused Hueltex to like turn off their perception, which is essentially that's it's really
exactly
working for
as
you.
planned.
Absolutely.
From the chandelier.
Not a sponsor. And you absolutely
Would you
succeed in
eat this?
distracting them.
Would you eat this?
No
Would you
reaction.
eat this?
And you're like just holding up the same thing again and again. But they have turned off their proprioception. Every now and then the lights like go on as they check to see if it's still happening. Immediately they just turn back
The
on.
worst car ride ever.
Mom!
But no problem.
We've
Yeah.
annoyed him.
They have the
to
power
turn off
knowledge.
his
Yeah.
senses.
You are able to distract him, and you can take Emma in this device, wheel it over to the biome with no problem. Sorry, Cindy. And if you want, you get the sense the easiest thing to do would be to start the opening procedure, which less technical than it sounds. The way that it's frozen, you have to unlatch it, and then it will unfreeze as it hits this gel. When you engage the airlock, you imagine it will open, and Emma will be able to emerge. Is there anything that you're doing prior to that?
Is there a way to like forewarn her about the pain that Peep was saying? Like, can we do it outside of like, cool things down and then move into the gel?
Yeah, you want to risk bringing Emma out and into the air?
No, not into the air, just opening the lid, because she's still in the gel in the lid, right? But before she was able to talk to us for a bit.
She's kind of like in this oil.
Yeah.
And so the oil comes up, so you could open it up and leave it there. Again, that is exposing her to air. So
Yeah, I guess it's
Let
6
her
one way,
slurp
half a
out
dozen
into
the other.
food. Dump her
Yeah.
into like a fucking fish tank. Dump her into the fucking fish tank.
Echo.
Yeah, there's just
Fucking around with
The
that.
please hold finger.
we were able to contact her before and communicate.
Does the oil count as seeing the target?
Yeah, you can see through it.
So I can
Yes,
I
you
can
can.
see her right now.
Yes, you can. Through the little window that is in the oil drum, you can absolutely see.
Oh,
Bluetooth.
Yeah, you can.
we can just
Spice has done this previously.
That's how we did it. Okay. Yeah.
It's like I recall this working
I was like,
before.
we definitely were able to talk to her
It's because
before.
she initiated all the time
The
that
only
I didn't
reason was
realize
that
it.
she was frozen, which was why we couldn't, because she was in the cryo chamber for the last bit.
Cindy.
You
Are you
feel
there?
this like dull motion within the space itself, and then as you make that connection, you can hear the voice is fuzzy, but yes.
It is almost time for transfer. I have been told the medium will be unpleasant at first. Upon entry, you will transition from an oxygen-rich environment to one seemingly made of a plant called aloe.
Not strictly true, but okay. You explain the process. You get the sense that there is a sort of moment where they have to process this. They're still kind of waking up, but then there is this acknowledgement, and they say, okay, it can't be worse than what I've been through already.
Bubbles
Disney.
and Shade are here, as well as a Hisoki called Peep.
There's another human here as well. And there's animals beneath us.
Oh, I forgot you have quite a range. Yes, there are more people aboard. This is our home base. This is Bubbles' home base.
This is far away from people. This is a good place.
Oh. Oh.
And Echo's just like, she is informed.
Thank you, Echo. I appreciate that.
So you wheel Emma in.
Yeah.
You open the airlock, and very quickly, this whole space just fills with this gel. You can see the space in the kind of immediate level just kind of drops ever so slightly, and then there is a suction where it into the room proper. And you see the oil mix with the gelatin itself, become a little darker in the immediate vicinity, and Emma emerges.
Nice.
Sleepy, a little wobbly. Oh, sorry, Cindy. Gosh.
It's okay. We all know who
I
you're
know,
talking
I set
about.
myself up for the names.
Your sister.
One
Bubs,
of them.
female.
The bald version of Bubs that has been associated with fire emerges from this container, a little bit shaky, and they stumble towards what is just a large. You ever seen Hellboy?
Yeah.
So kind of like Abe's enclosure is this. It is just huge pane of glass, and there is like little bits of lining that hold the panes themselves together. But you can see Cindy just there. And they look at you from the other side of this glass. They nod, and you can hear telepathically in your mind bubbles, "Thank you."
And Bub's just gonna hold out his hand and just do the thumb thing.
You can see she turns and very hesitantly returns that gesture. Doesn't quite understand the significance of it, but
No, she knows it's from Bub's childhood.
yeah, like it means more to you now, probably. This is not something that she has done in the past recently. And so something that is a little bit,
Old memory.
yeah, for sure.
Takes her a second.
But it does eventually find its way into her mind, and she returns the gesture. Is there anything else anybody else is doing in the vivarium?
Like, we've got our top scientist on it.
You use all of the charisma and android you muster, and then you turn away. Anything else anybody is doing?
Next stop is Fuel Tech Land. We're going all the way into the
I
Vescarium.
want to give people the official debrief, but I don't know. Usually, I guess that's a no or
Yes.
something.
Are we leveling equipment or anything? Does Peep have anything in the armory here or no?
People turn and just say, "Oh, the grenade manufacturer is up and running. Everything in the armory should be more or less able to go. Is there stuff that you need in particular?"
Armor.
You would know that Spice wants better armor. Spice isn't there, but she's been loud about how painful it is to get hit.
We could use better armor and weaponry.
Okay, well, we have some carbon skin that would probably work in terms of armor. I can get some of... Actually, hang on. And he takes out his communicator and he makes a call. And he says, "Efi, can you bring up some armor, some weapons, just some general things for Mosaic Team 5 to come in?" No, they're coming tomorrow. Mosaic Team 5.
Wait, who's coming tomorrow?
Oh, somebody from Mosaic Team 1. They're almost back and ready to be in action. There's something big going down. We're going to be talking to Chief Mission Coordinator Orion. We're going to be talking to a whole bunch of people about this, but there's a big operation coming down the way. I think you're going to be involved in it too. I think maybe Mosaic Team 1 and Mosaic Team 2 as well.
You know, we've never done like team bonding, you know, the teams together, like cross team bonding.
Yeah, I think that's almost on purpose. They're just... You guys are successful now, but it hasn't always been like that.
Well, think about it as a lack of bonding.
So,
Within our own team, we
Right.
don't need to worry about
Bitch, are you even there?
3.
I don't know. I'm sure we're all at some point. At some point, we're all in a room together.
yeah. But,
I want things from him.
but he calls down, has Efi bring up a bunch of things. A little bit of time passes, and Efi, this human that first joined you as part of the Mosaic internship program, pops up. You can see they are wearing a Mosaic polo shirt, and they push on a cart a big, almost like one of these kind of garment racks, and on it there are 5 sets of carbon skin. They are white carbon. This is level 10 light armor. And people would say, this is what we have in terms of armor. That's kind of the top of the line right now. We have a few options for weapons here. Then Efi pushes a number of crates out, and opening them up, there is a needle pistol that is elite, which is level 10. There is 2 laser pistols, Parahelion, which is level 10. There is a coil rifle, and this is a little bit larger than some of the other weapons. This is a level 10 sniper rifle. You can see this seems to have a sort of diode in the middle, and then a number of different metallic rings that power this weapon through. There is also a long arm, which is larger than some of the smaller arms. It is a little bit larger than the sniper itself. This is a numbing beam. It is something that is designed to really put some cold damage on somebody. And then there is a second case that is something that Efi produces. And Efi says, Peep told... Sorry, that's Peep.
Peep, wait.
Got something in my throat.
Peep told me.
It's not a big deal or anything, but Peep said that you missed out on something from the USR. So we found this in storage for you. It's not a big deal or anything. But they pass over to you this little box. Who takes the box?
Spice. Spice isn't there though.
You're not
So
there?
unfortunately Spice
Kate, you
wouldn't
take
take
this,
it.
and popping it open, there is a little box that has 5 charms that have been slotted into it that fit around these little leather cords. These are team building charms, level 8.
Team
What does
building?
that even
Who
mean?
wanted this?
And
Starfinder.
give me 1 second here.
I've never even heard of that. Is it a
So Efi kind of says, well, Peep had said that you were supposed to get one of these and that you hadn't, but wait 1 second here.
Can't find it.
You can see these are these glowing green charms, and they have a little bit of data that goes across. And Gibbs, when you see these really almost like they almost call out to you. There's something about these that's innately familiar. While you have these things, they exchange data constantly between them.
Mm-hmm.
So these are all synced within each other. When a group of 2 or more of these charms are kept together for 24 hours, they attune to each other.
Mm-hmm.
And so as a group, you could have like a group of them. They give subtle psychic information to the wearers on the health of each of the other wearers, no matter the distance, as long as they are on the same plane of existence.
Their status.
If the bearer of one of the charms falls ill or ceases to live, the others are instantly aware of their status. As a standard action, anybody who is wearing one of these charms can activate it to determine the direction and distance of another charm wearer as long as they are on the same planet.
That's cool. That's pretty fucking cool.
It's kind of like a lighter version of your ability.
Yeah. Which is dope, because now you
So
all
you
can
don't
do
have
what
to use it. Yeah.
No, well, my ability is innate. I
Yeah.
just know it. But now you all get the benefit that I have, which is great.
So we'll know when it happens to Gibbs.
Speaking of which,
Yeah.
this reminds me, you're cursed. Can I uncurse you? Do you need to be uncursed?
Oh.
You can see Evie looks at you and goes, I'm sorry, what?
She stepped on a crack, you know.
Evie takes a big step back.
You can't catch curses.
It doesn't work like that. That's not cooties.
It was nice seeing all of you.
Hey,
I have bread in the oven. And she turns and leaves.
can I have some?
The elevator closes.
Ouch. She still hates us. It's okay.
Is this going to be a lengthy process?
No, it takes like 6 seconds.
Okay.
Great, and I just sneeze on you, and it like
Oh.
the sneeze is like ephemeral, and it hits you, and then like the curse splats against the wall. And it
What are you
just drips.
casting?
Remove affliction.
Sneeze.
Oh.
That's my soul back there.
Okay, let me take a look at this.
I'm pretty sure it's remove affliction. I'm thinking of.
Nasty.
Not like
So,
spit or...
impurities, curses, and diseases. Da-da-da. Okay.
I have to do a check, but
Do.
the sneeze is free.
Make a mysticism check.
Cool. Guys, I've rolled 2 nat 1s. You think it's gonna happen again?
3 nat ones.
Fuck. Mysticism?
Mm-hmm.
22.
Hey, not bad.
A god cursed me.
Gives the
I believe
22. As you are casting this, you sneeze directly in Echo's face. And when you do, you blink and your eyes are watery as they are after a sneeze. And for a moment, when you look at Echo, you still see the glowing eyes, but you see a shriveled, old, impossibly ancient looking Yosoki.
Lao Shupo.
And all at once, they just vanish away. And you have broken that curse with a 22 that meets it and beats it.
I rolled a 3 on my die.
That's amazing.
But
You were
my-
one away from failing that. and it's-
Mysticism was 19.
Do I get my 10 health back?
You do not get your 10 health back, but your maximum health does return to the normal
Yeah.
amount. And so yes, you will regain it once you heal again.
I broke it. I saw it break. I don't know if you could see it, but it was there.
I am not that type of gifted. Thank you, Gibbs.
Sure. That's why I'm here.
I was worried it would take a time.
Some of these things do, but sometimes you just need to rub a little dirt on it and you're better.
I am indeed quite dirty.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
This means it could come back. But
What?
it was broken. Well, I don't know how all curses work. I only I can curse people and I can heal curses, but you know, every curse is kind of its own flavor of mustard.
True.
Wait, you
So-
can curse people?
Yeah, you want to see?
Yeah.
I want to curse Spice.
Curse me, baby. Give me something good.
Spice is like run down from the ship now.
Yeah, she like still has her bone guitar in her hand, being like, I was just riffing for it. I heard what you were saying though, and curses
So
seem
have you all
fucking
left
sick.
Fueltex unattended?
No, I lied. I'm not actually doing this. Never mind. Spice is just screaming into your mind, save a curse for me!
The next time I see Spice, I will curse her.
Okay.
Sure. Easy. Does anybody else have business to attend to with the vivarium?
Nah.
Okay. Are you all boarding the ship and returning to the drift? Easy enough.
Peep, it was nice to feel you in my mind. That's
You
what
say
she
that to
said.
Peep?
Yeah, in his mind. Because she's like, I'm busy working on my
Peep says,
our-
Spice, really,
okay.
I'm your boss. That's not appropriate. But
It's natural.
if you could just pick up your communicator every now and then, that would also meet a similar objective.
Not gonna happen. Spice out.
You terminate the communication.
Oh, their mind. She's still listening.
You all now find yourselves in the drift, or once again in the drift.
You don't know it, but she checked her messages recently.
Fueltex has given you the coordinates. Are you setting them?
Are they spooky?
Why are you
They
hesitating?
are kind of spooky. Yeah.
Why are you
What-
hesitating?
What did the...
Because they're spooky.
Yeah, but
what's
it's
about
not
the
that whole
coordinates
fucking
that are,
thing
like,
is spooky. This is for
Metaphysical
Echo's fucking
not sense
family.
motive?
No, metaphysical sciences.
11 plus
Sort of.
6 is 17.
17? Hard to tell. You've
been
never
counting
seen
it
coordinates that
before.
look like this, but you're not familiar with a lot of coordinates.
You know, this looks like more like a MAC address than anything. It's kind of weird.
Kinda, yeah.
Oh.
Well, I had wanted to contact the USR, but I guess we can do that on the ship.
Yeah, you can.
So it doesn't really matter. But I wanted that contact info for Admiral Broadstar. And
Oh,
I guess
yeah.
if we need
People will beam
Whoa.
that over to you, no problem.
Yeah.
You have those.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, if we need to get in touch with Woe too, we have his. That's what I'm saying. So yeah, I guess we just punch in the coordinates that he gave.
Okay. You punch those coordinates
And
in. Can you roll 2d6, please?
2d6. It's gonna be a long journey because we're going to the outer rim,
Could be.
past the outer rim,
I believe in you.
That's
past the charted territories.
We'll find out, honey.
6 total.
Hey!
What are the two numbers?
4 and 2.
Okay. So you type this
42
in, and as you
days.
punch it in, 42 years.
Just like Noah.
This has become a slice of
42?
life.
No, that's,
42-year
the-
voyage.
I would
everything.
love that.
It's just going to be lost in space.
40 days and 40 minutes.
Amazing.
And extra
42 is the
2
meaning of
because
life.
we stopped for
Fuel
gas.
text, welcome.
You see the clock
He will convert you.
begins at 4 days. This is going to be a longer trip in the drift. You are traveling to a place that is on the edges of known space, but you do currently have the assemblage's location typed into your drift computer, and the time begins to tick down.
Echo shares a report around from the Hollow Husk.
Okay.
When we were in the Hollow Husk, Shade was able to hack into a drive and discovered a shipping manifest for Assemblage 12, which
Yes,
is where
it
we're
did.
going.
Yes, it did. Yes, they did.
And I don't remember
What is
exactly
a
it
shipping
said.
assemblage? Is that just
You
like
would remember, Echo, that particular shipping manifest was one that you had obtained from the Zon Kuthan cult.
Oh, one
You
of the
would-
documents relates to the container Echo found, which contained
Yeah, which
the
had
carefully
body parts that-
cauterized,
yeah.
cauterized
Bits that we
android
got,
limbs.
that we located at the
Correct.
the site.
Those sentences
So-
were related.
It's probably going to be similar cargo
So I'm thinking
things.
that
that we're going to have to deal with over there.
he wants to be one with Triune, which means there's no biological parts. Does that mean he's our enemy?
Can I fill my pockets with trash?
Yeah, you can go through.
Great.
There's a lot of trash that is accumulated in the different systems here. You didn't take time to unload that at the vivarium.
Nice.
So no problem. You fill
Into
up
my
trash.
pockets.
Into your pockets.
Thank you.
On the ship?
Guess.
Where's our Roomba?
Yeah. You're going into like the store, like where the trash
Right,
is
where the
stored.
Roomba puts the
Yeah.
Oh,
Gibbs is like,
I was like,
Gibbs is
did the
like
Roomba's
into the
batteries
trash.
die? Is
No,
this
no.
place a shithole?
Gibbs is literally just taking the trash
Batteries.
out of the
Somehow
Roomba.
Joe
it's
specifically
trash
said it
procreated.
wasn't.
Yeah, no. I did.
Guys, it's a plot point. Don't worry
Where's
about
the
it.
Roomba? Why hasn't this thing been doing its job?
So an hour ticks by, 2 hours tick by. Is there anything that you're doing over the first day that you are in the drift?
So Echo shares around that kind of manifest
Sure.
that everyone can see what we're dealing with, which is like someone who does business with the Zon-Kuthon cultists for android parts.
Spice doesn't do that. She hides her tattoo with absolute
You
shame.
USR sooner rather than later.
Okay, so you want to reach out to them?
Yeah,
That this
I think
is the
so.
people who are buying the echo units you're looking for?
Not necessarily.
Yeah,
The Zon-Kuthon
make a-
cultists were just cauterizing every android limb.
Right.
I
We
think
are not all echo units.
Right. But in addition to all the other ones, are you hoping that you've got the other echo units there too? Have been caught into that whirlpool?
It would be nice, but it does not make sense.
Right. And can we just restate what our goal is? What's our, do we have a bounty or anything? We're just Huel Tex's,
Fuel Texas all code.
okay.
device.
That's our plot right now.
The device.
Okay.
We're finding.
And
a
are you
device.
having this conversation in front of Fueltex?
Sure. Echo knows that this information is related to the general welfare and safety of the crew, so shares it with Hueltex.
Fueltex at this point will say, completing this mission will directly relate to the safety of the individuals that you seek.
Because you know that they're there, or you know that stopping this or taking the all code is going to help just android well-being in general.
Make a diplomacy check.
That
Gibbs.
seems real specific.
Take
Yeah,
a plus
I
2
also-
conditional modifier.
I'm rolling like shit tonight. With the +2 modifier, 17.
That's my chair.
And that is all that they say.
That's my chair.
Yeah, it's my,
I'm so sorry.
It's fine. It's not a big deal.
It's cursed.
Achoo!
You uncurse the chair. So, that's all he says.
I wrote team building grenade.
Hueltex, it sounds like you know a thing or two about Zon-Kuthon's involvement in this. Am I wrong?
You are wrong.
So you didn't know they were
not
involved.
everyone in cults know each other.
Ah, well, as someone who's also in a cult, I figured you would know. I'm just kidding. That was a joke. You're not laughing, which makes it weird. Spice laughs.
He says nothing.
I
He
know.
stares the whole time.
It's like Joker at the
So my thinking is, she's not even speaking at Hueltex anymore. She's like, I think that Hueltex is involved in the selling of android body parts. That is, but also Zon-Kuthon is involved in this. So I don't know if I trust you, Hueltex.
You just
Are
made
you
those leaps
involved?
all by yourself.
My friend.
Are you involved in the buying and selling of android limbs, Hueltex? Okay, alright, that answers that. Never mind, my suspicions have been nullified.
Wow.
Are you here to kill me? No. Great.
Can I sense motive?
Make a sense motive check. Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, Olive believes him, but I guess Spice would have more
you gonna
wherewithal to
betray
be
me?
like, I'm gonna suss
I believe
you
it.
out.
Cool, we're good.
That's the sense motive.
Are you lying? I only tell the truth. Ah.
Ah,
well,
it
that's
was
good
a
enough for me.
13, so she's like, yep,
Total 13.
13 total.
Hard to tell.
Yep.
Anybody else? Anything for the first day?
Can I just send a quick text to Rentropy? No, you go.
To Entropy?
To not to Rentropy, to Junkball people.
Yeah. Hang on one sec on that.
I was going to contact the USR eventually.
Sure. You can make that call, no problem.
I'm gonna join him in the cockpit.
So you make that call. When you do, at first, you are answered by a petty officer aboard the USR Philadelphia. And at first, it's actually kind of hard to get the sense that that's where you are calling. When you identify yourself as a member of Mosaic LLC, You are rapidly passed up 3 lines of communication, first to a petty officer, then to a senior petty officer, then to a warrant officer, who eventually gets you to Admiral Yuli Broadstar. And as the screen turns on, you can see this is a short woman, but she's pretty ripped. She's probably close to 60 years old, but she has dyed almost vibrantly pink hair. You can see she is wearing the blues of a USR naval officer and has the single star and a gold stripe of a rear admiral on her shoulder. She does not have on her hip the normal kind of sidearm. You actually would note, I would say, Shade, make a cultures check.
Culture. 15.
She's got a different set of pistols on her hip. You can see outside of the sort of kind of blob of pink hair that is sort of kept in a buzz cut, save a mop that is across the top. There are streaks of gray that come through. But they look at you and they regard you through the communicator. Are you saying anything?
Captain Shade of Mosaic Team 5 reporting in.
Captain Shade.
First mate Bub's also reporting.
Captain Spice also here. Just kidding. Spice isn't there. She doesn't give a shit.
So to the two of you, she sort of nods and she says, "You can drop the formalities. You fucked around pretty well out here, Mosaic Team 5. And while you didn't deliver the cuttlefish prototype, you made a big impact on our larger efforts. We had a couple of rewards for you, but you seem to have vacated the premises pretty quickly."
We felt, given the situation and the uncertainty of the operations that the USR was undertaking, it would be best for us to evacuate and leave the rest to you.
Better safe than sorry. I understand. I can respect that. It does limit our ability to make impact or to reward you for the hard work, but we've seen fit to instead make cash payments to the company itself. Hopefully that should be sufficient, as it was well over 2 million credits. That being said, you should have hopefully received a communication from us regarding a letter of marque.
Correct. I'll hold up the...
She nods and she says, "We haven't given one of those out in over 3 years. You should treasure that. It gives you a lot of leeway legally. You shouldn't need to pay for parking anywhere in the USR. But more importantly, if you do come across any enemies of the Republic, you have full leeway to take any actions that you see fit. I imagine there'll be lots of opportunities in the future. So hold on to that. If you are looking for more work," she kind of hesitates for a second, like seeming to try to gauge your interest. Are you saying anything?
I'm listening.
There's some work on the edge of Viscarium space. Some sort of incursion is a strong word, but it seems as if the Vesk are starting to get a little bit rowdy again, and we'd like to investigate them. Your team...
Investigate them.
Huh?
Investigate them.
Hate that. Your team seems to be adequate at undercover work.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious.
Shade dies. Shade just dies.
On camera. Can we get a paramedic?
We're very impressed that you were able to not tip anybody off while aboard the Zen Crawler. A place that is that crowded with electronic surveillance. It's an impressive feat. We could use your skills again in the future.
We are currently undergoing a different mission, but we will be in touch. Admiral Broadstar. If we are to remove formalities, may I ask, what is the ultimate goal of the USR given the current heightening of war tensions?
Make a diplomacy check.
You didn't ask what her first name was? That was where I thought you were going.
Well, I was gonna, but
I thought he was going.
that's why it's like I don't have the first name. I wanted to get rid of the
What's your
formalities,
first
but she
name?
didn't give me her first name, so.
Not what I thought you were gonna say.
You want to go out with me sometime?
Yeah.
Oh,
Mine
day
was more
has
of
changed. I'm gonna use my reroll.
There you go.
Wow. With diplomacy, what is it?
Diplomacy
Plus
is so
4?
fucking terrible. Yeah, it's
You know
plus
who should
0,
be
14.
captain?
14. You can see she looks at you, and it's been a pretty casual exchange so far, but something in the look hardens just a little bit, and you feel a shield go up. And though the interaction doesn't change overtly, there's information that she's holding back, certainly. But all she says is, you know, pirates have really just got out of hand. And we've needed to rein them in for some time. We just have the resources to do it now. And like I said, don't worry about Project Cuttlefish. There are other prototypes. We'll be in touch. Good work.
Thank you.
Communication cut.
Shade's gonna light a cigarette.
Okay.
They're not telling us anything on purpose. They know something.
Or is it just because Shade
We're
sucks
not-
at talking? Sorry.
That we already knew.
Director, what was the status of the U.S. Tango ship, the ship that apparently 899 was going to be going after? Was that ever...
You get a message to your communicator. It's from the director. And it's a simple, logistics readout where it reads, USR Tango. Location unknown. Did not arrive in destination. USR patrols dispatched to investigate.
Something on your mind, Bubs?
It's just... I don't want to say that there's something happening, but
I have been saying that for a while now.
but it feels like we're the useful idiots. And we should start being players in this.
I agree. It's a matter of getting everyone else on board.
I think after this mission, I think we need to start maybe pulling our weight. Maybe start making some demands. I know we're not in a position to, conquer planets or do anything crazy like, how the USR just took over the Zim Crawler, but we're a known asset. We could be doing more. This galaxy it's a wide place. There's so much things we could be doing, and it feels like our inaction, it makes us feel like sometimes we're just as bad as the people who are causing these problems.
I do disagree with that. It is not inaction. However, our actions are being influenced by forces beyond our control. That is what bothers me.
Bubbles and Shade, both of you get a communication. This communication, it's weird because it almost immediately reads as spam, but it comes straight to your inbox.
It's Huel text, isn't it?
It's from the director of Swedish Farmers Association. And if you open it up, it says, take control of your fate now. And the rest of it is just an advertisement about how you can join the Swedish Farmers Association. You get the sense that this is not actually about the Swedish Farmers Association. You actually don't know what Swedish is. But
Like the fish, right?
you get the sense that the important part of that is from the director. And this is the director saying that I would say, for free, this is the director saying that you probably can throw your weight around a little bit more now.
With their help. Dun, dun, dun.
Regardless of the current situation, we have earned the good graces of the USR. That is a valuable asset. Despite their reluctance to give us more information now.
I I trust you, Captain. Whatever path we take, I'll be right behind you.
I appreciate that.
And Bubbles will just stare off into space.
Okay. You do that, no problem. For the rest of you, you entertain Huel techs. You have your various little bits and bobs. The first day goes by. Those of you who need to can mark off a long rest if it will help you recover your health just a little bit more. And the second day comes around. On the second day, there is a moment where the ship shudders.
Oh.
Can everybody make a perception check?
Finally.
Stupid ass.
30.
30.
35.
36.
Very nice.
Does it even matter what I get?
It may.
I didn't get a natural 20.
I didn't get a natural 20. I got a 19.
I got a 12, so...
18.
Okay.
Yeah, dude. 28.
Okay. So, androids, the two of you notice innately that there is something that changes. There is a shift. There is a roll of static that goes through the hull and the systems, but it's brief. It could be a power fluctuation, but both of you being androids, you feel it in your systems as well. It's certainly not just power fluctuations, but outside of that, it passes and you notice nothing else. Gibbs with a 36. You notice that there are 3 or 4 lights on this Christmas tree that have suddenly gone out. And that seems weird. There was this power fluctuation. You notice that as well. Then just a couple of lights went out. And looking around, you note some of the LEDs have dimmed in the control panels around the tree as well. There's something strange. But because it is about to be 10 o'clock, this is where we're going to end for the evening, as you have 3 days left on your journey towards the assemblage. But thank you for sticking with us for this session of Mosaic Team 5. We'll be back next week, I believe. If you can't wait that long, please. There's so many different events coming up in the next couple months.
There is.
Just keep watching.
always
It'll
forgetting.
come around.
It'll come around. But we are going to have Mosaic Team 5 next week. If you can't wait that long, tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have Adventures in Oberon, Courts of Everest. Matt will be there. Carol will be there. We'll be joined by some other people.
Mark won't be there.
Oh, no, Matt won't be there because Matt's going to be flying to San Francisco. And boy,
Is this another wedding?
To San Francisco.
It's always a wedding. Always a wedding. But Carol will be there. Some other friends will be there. We're going to play some D&D. If you can't, we'll just see you next week. And we'll see you then.
Bye.
I'm gonna swim.